Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Equestria at War, Gryffonian Empire playthrough as the beautiful pink monarchist, the Duchess of Strawberry, and renowned Ara Ara character, Gabriella Eagleclaw. There will be a small interruption in today's stream whilst I just finish uploading a video. That was why we were 30 minutes later today as well. I'd been hoping to do more streams of this game actually this week, but with the whole thing going on in 40k, Arch has been a very busy boy, a very popular boy in fact, with a lot of podcasts and other things to go through as my expertise was required. And speaking of expertise here, before we begin, a little, again, self-shill in the shirts that I am currently selling, and perhaps, why do I keep doing that? More importantly, I can officially confirm that my shirts have an effect that no other piece of clothing has ever been proven to have before. They are thermodynamic in a way that no other piece of clothing has ever previously been able to be. They can actually produce heat, as they have the power to make snowflakes melt away in front of you and actually give you wins in 40k. They will cause your opponent to forfeit their matches, even in official games. We have reached levels of triggering never ever before seen before. Oh, I will be using this one for a very, very long time. I've been seeing several of these on Twitter now, and I am tremendously enjoying each and every one of them. God willing, they'll just kind of keep coming. That would make Arch very, 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 very happy. Right, what were we doing? That is a lovely, lovely question, isn't it? Brendan Taylor, hey Archly, why did they make mud ponies such a garbage race compared to the other two? I don't know. I don't understand it either, honestly. It's like, okay, why did you make the earth ponies so much worse than the other ponies? It seems weird to me as well. I don't understand it. It's like they are obviously, automatically, and unavoidably inferior to the other pony races. You'd think that'd be a little bit silly and a little bit obvious, but you would apparently be incorrect. Right, you are all the correct division, right? You are not all Imperial Guard divisions. I figured you were kind of being dumb and weak there. Alright, well, resume your training then, whilst we continue to finish up the universities and, military traits. Breakthrough, obviously, that's the one we were going for. We have more still. Helsheim Kanonen, that sounds artillery-esque. Soft attack. Rapid fire sounds pretty swell. Adler Luftfahrt, our aircraft. Max speed and agility. Maritime duties. Advanced aerodynamics and fuselage, I think. Sliding breach block, defense, or breakthrough? Breakthrough. Again, breakthrough is like the single most important stat in the entire goddamn video game. Always pick breakthrough if the game is like, hey, what do you want? Breakthrough. Where about? No, breakthrough. No, breakthrough. Breakthrough. Like, I have told you what I desire, video game. Now stop whinging at me, but couldn't you choose something else once? Nope. No, I could not. Because it is pointless, it is futile, and it is dumb to choose anything that is not breakthrough. Breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough. It is the only stat you are required to utilize, ever, at any point. There we go. Some casualties in New Rome, but they're being replaced swiftly enough. A new department. Let's see. Psychological warfare is not a terrible idea. I don't have a whole lot of use for it just yet, but it's useful enough. Stalingrad fights the red flag over Democratic Republic of Pinglan in its eternal struggle. They newt no more. No, the newts. They newt no more. Pengu. Pengu has been conquered by communism. Is nothing free of communism? No, not even Pengu is free of communism. Strike at Angriver, the Barony of Angriver. The Barony of Angriver. False loyalists. False royalists. There is nothing worse than a fake royalist. People who are like, oh yeah, no, I like monarchy and all that, but what about a little bit of liberté, égalité? No liberté, no égalité. None of these things. They all lead to revolution and worse. Monarchy first, monarchy second, monarchy third, monarchy fourth.
Heresy's the question.
Always monarchy. Forever, at all time. There shall never be any point in which we are not monarchy. And hey, don't get me wrong. I appreciated little old Nappy as much as anyone else. But let's face it here. Nappy was basically a... Oh, now you're doing it. Why are you doing it now? That confuses me. Nappy was basically a monarchist as well. For all intents and purposes, Napoleon Bonaparte was a monarchist. Alright? He was just a little misguided, and he was never accepted into the club proper. That was the error of those around him who were short-sighted and did not understand that here you had a man with true monarchical ambition. You know, the whole republicanism thing was a brief and silly dalliance, I do admit, but you must allow even a man as great as old Nappy to have his occasional mistake, okay? We're all allowed one moment of weakness where we think that maybe voting wouldn't be so bad. Just one, though, mind you. Just one. Sandoom, oh, this tweet is way better than the guy trying to flush his chest dice down the toilet and someone getting a picture of the dice in the toilet. Oh, his cheat die. I saw that, yes. I saw that. Somebody who was trying to get rid of their cheating dice on a tournament by flushing them down the toilet. That's one hell of an admission of guilt, too. Like, can I see those dice? Rushes for the toilet. Nope. That is pretty good. That is pretty damn good. Falcone Queendom. Haggard Falcone Tentail. Archon Erion has proposed that we restore the concept of Imperial Elos. Alright. Strike at Angriver. Long as Angriver suffered from tyranny and strife, the local Republicans and anarchists have fermented unrest, and the Rabbaran respond with draconic measures. It's clear they need the Empire to come and restore sanity and order to their cursed land. Anarchists. The only thing potentially, conceivably worse than a Republican. An anarchist. Disgusting. I understand now why you require me to come to your homes and clear you out a little bit. Anarchists. Anarchy has been the cause of more wars and more bloodshed than any other ideology in human history. It is an obviously, unavoidably, and universally negative idea It should be stomped to pieces whenever it shows its filthy, filthy, dirty little mug. There can be no coexistence with anarchists. There can only be violent opposition to their absurdist, nonsensical ideas. No matter the costs, no matter the casualties, anarchy must and shall be annihilated wherever it comes out. And if we must destroy an otherwise relatively monarchist barony to do so, then that is a price more than worth paying. For clearly, if you're not capable of keeping these scum out of your territory, out of your government, out of your area, then you do not deserve the title of baron. See, this is the concept of noblesse oblige. Okay? You don't get to be a noble just because you were born one. You get to be a noble because you are better than the filthy peasantry, because you know what needs to be done more than they do. And if you fail in these obligations, you will be returned to your position of correctness beneath the claw, not hoof, caught myself there, of your superiors, for you have proven yourself a peasant, not a noble. Much better. Competency restored. Einlem Rost Engineering. Okay, that's medium bombs. Ground attack, obviously. Ground attack, air attack, gun pump. That one. The hallucinator. You were good on side scrolls. It was funny watching them try to wrap their heads around what progressivism actually is. Also, never let Dev forget the cast report. It was pretty good, yes. I was on side scrollers recently with Stuttering Crag. Large aircraft cannon. You know, cannons. I don't know if I like cannons, actually. And they were needing me to explain to them exactly what was going on in Warhammer 40k, why progressivism was as awful as it is. And, you know, it took about an hour or so to go through the relevant nonsense, but at the end of it, I think they understood. Their horizons were forcibly broadened, expanded, sounded, if you absolutely will. Clear out the Streibveld. The rising empire. I like the sound of that. Civilian factories, I'll take it. I do like my civilian factories. Right, we've got ourselves some airframes now. I'm going to wait until I get the tier 3 engines, because I'm 87 days away. I might as well go for the best aircraft I can at that point. So Jard's been a member for 15 months. Thank you very much, sir. Arch, is that a black man wearing your shirt? There is a term leftists use for these kind of guys. Also, another leftist immolated himself. I did see that. And yes, I find it particularly amusing as well. I've seen a couple people go like, they must have paid him. He's clearly a fake person. It's like, no. The shirts company literally just went to a local game store, held up a shirt, and was like, hey, does anyone want a model? And there you go. It's not difficult because, well, surprise, surprise, my ideology is a hell of a lot more inclusive than this. Unironically, it is. I welcome anyone, so long as they recognize that the left is inherently, absolutely, and at the very basemost level, evil. So long as you are able to understand that, anyone's welcome in Archtopia. Right, so that's that new, right, organization +5. That's very nice. A +5 org boost is pretty damn sweet, honestly. I'll take it. Oh, by the way, are we repressing them as we should? Local police force, secret police force. They have not demonstrated their ability to rule themselves, and so they shall be crushed. changeling equestrian border. It is rumored that Queen Chrysalis is looking far beyond recently crossed Olenian borders. There have been several reports of aviation of changeling forces around the equestrian border, including airfield construction, field training, tank rallies. Changeling officials inform that these are merely self-defense measures and that they are worried about looming equestrian invasion. Good. Mentioning that Equestria has repeatedly violated borders and forced installed Equestria-friendly governments in sovereign countries in the past. They did do that. Regardless of whether it is a good reason or not, the whole situation is starting to look troubling. Ponies in border regions are remaining calm, but the rumor of changeling attack is circling around the area. So, hardest campaign in this game, the changelings, by quite some distance. Because changeling, Vidkun Hjotsling, of course. Vidkun Quisling, of course, being the famous Norwegian traitor. Good boys. So, the changelings are basically sort of kind of Germany, in a way, right? In that they get really good early armor and lots of good, like, early military tech. Equestria is America, basically. It's slow to mobilize, but it has enormous industrial capacity. And once the changeling invade, you're eventually going to be war with the Crystal Empire, which is like England, and eventually with Stalingrad, which is the Soviet fucking Union, and eventually even with the various client states of Equestria. Like, playing the changelings and going into Equestria is like fighting England, France, the Soviet Union, and America at the same time in a land war. It is hell. Oh my god, is it hell. Oh my Jesus. Like, you do not understand just how much of a hell that is. Oi, oi, oi. Running Terror. Also, actually, why do they make unicorns the master race, which can do anything the other two can if they're autistic enough? Because they're unicorn supremacists. That is why. And perhaps they should be. Marco Polo. I'm subscribed him alone when it comes to 40k being changed for the worst being a bad thing. In my normal 40k shop in Norway, they say I'm a Nazi if I agree. You know, it's a GW store. They've got to abide by the GW rules, I suppose. Oh, I did skip your super chat, Doman. I'm sorry. Doman, with the new DLC update for Total War Warhammer 3, is it lore accurate that the Empire can make robot horses to ride on? Yes, actually. So, the Empire has robot horses that... Here, I'll double your like Kenshi thing. And it's just sorry. The engineers, the robot engineers, the College of Engineers, Jesus, actually do have robot horses. They used to be a unique mount for. I don't like minus soft attack. Thank you very much. I do like minus plus hard attack though. They had a unique mount which was the mechanical horse. So yeah, sort of, kind of, maybe. In a way. Now, those were very, very rare and difficult to produce, so having them as just standard mounts would be weird. But if they're like mounts for engineers, for example, then yeah, no, they had those. They definitely did. Right, I'm gonna want another 20 division of Imperial Guardsmen. Can't get any more Imperial Knights yet, but we're going to be working on it. And I'm definitely going to be wanting some armor soon as well. Loads more. Adoman, now you skip my super chat. Kenji, I'm very sorry, Adoman. Training slowly but surely, good boys. Stalingrad, sadly not in the command of Starlight Sparkle. Starlight Sparkle. Starlight Glimmer, I think it was. Why are you not in port? Return there, you silly little useless destroyers. Why must you wander about like that? I could be building ships. Because our internal matters within the changeling lands, the scientists, soldiers, advisors, and all related personnel of the changeling Gryffonia expeditionary mission are hereby ordered to return home at once by the decree of Queen Chrysalis. The message is simply written in taciturn dialect of a language the two distant nations share, yet profound in its meaning. For years, the changelings assisting the Imperial army and attached reserve research divisions have become a staple of life for those in the upper echelons of the command hierarchy, and now it is time for them to leave. The mood is unsurprisingly somber when the message is read aloud, both for what leaving means and for what awaits the changelings in their homeland. Synovial, senior military commander of the mission, seems relieved at the news, as if a great weight has been lifted off his wings. His compatriot, Thranx, seems to have had the opposite reaction, falling into a depressive stupor that in turn lowers the mood of all those near him. The differing reactions have promoted one of the Imperial commanders who worked with them, CGEM, to voice the idea that they should throw a party for all the members of the mission to wish them fond farewell, for it would seem to be the kind to let their last members are going to be a happy one. The stoicism. No, a party sounds like just the thing, of course. The night is young when the changeling members of the changeling Gryffonian expeditionary mission arrive at the Imperial Palace in Griffinheim for their grand farewell party. There are hundreds of them, and hundreds more griffins that seek to attend the party as well. Luckily for all those involved, when the capital was first moved from Griffinstone to Griffinheim, the designers of the new Imperial Palace Grand Ballroom had capacity first in mind. The party ends up lasting well into the early dawn hours, with many an event to be seen. Scientists exchange last-minute notes whilst reminiscing about strange discoveries. A noble Gryff actually managed to impersonate a changeling colonel, and soldiers of both species broke out into song over large flagons of beer. Fun was had by all, and some creature was even able to get Thranx to smile again. During the party, though, it seems that Duchess Gabriella Eagleclaw overheard Imperial Army soldiers wishing their changeling friends that they could help them out, or even fight alongside them in whatever struggle awaited them back home. This would lead to a review of supplies and troop strength in the morrow. Theoretically, the proposal could be done, but it also could just be written off as an alcoholic-induced hallucination. In any case, this night will be long remembered as the rowdiest party in memory, and a true bright spot on the record of Imperial affairs.
Fire is the answer.
A plea for asylum. Following the order's return of the changeling military mission back to Vesalopolis, General Thranx has now approached none other than Duchess Gabriella Eagleclaw, begging them to let him stay in the Empire. They were immediately caught within the crossfire of other nobles and advisors. Some argued for, some against this plea for asylum. At the end, however, the choice was entirely up to the ruling Griffin themselves. As Thranx broke down in tears before them, a choice had to be made. We will not abandon our friends, we must do as his queen commands. Okay, chat, this sounds like a chat choice. Asylum. There, my unbiased poll there. And I will take that opportunity to real quick upload this video that just finished rendering as well. Reigning Terror, who's the most competent villain and incompetent hero? Forgot about Kenshi. Who is the most incompetent villain and the most competent hero? In total or then MLP? I'll add in the other ones too, don't worry. Incompetent villain, competent hero. Well, if we're talking in total, then Aragorn is probably one of the most competent heroes out there. Aragorn is undoubtedly one of the most competent heroes in, like, fantasy history, straight up. Because not only did he go from being a ranger successfully to a high-ranking ranger to the leadership of Gondor, he even understood what exactly Frodo needed from him, etc. Like Aragorn was a bro beyond belief. Incompetent villain. Incompetent villain. See, incompetent villains don't leave that much of an impression because they're just so useless. I'm thinking. Worm Tongue, maybe? Like, No, yeah, both of them for Lord of the Rings, honestly. Like, Worm Tongue was pretty shit at being a villain. He was defeated pretty much instantly. Rainy said MLP, also reverse it. Reverse it? Reverse what? Competent villain and incompetent hero. Also reverse it. Oh god, now you're being complicated. Now I'm confused by what you're asking me. Okay. I need to write this description first, otherwise my brain will actually stop functioning. I can't think about two things at the same time. I literally can't. Like, I don't think most humans can. I think most humans have limited bandwidth, and they're just like, yep, this one thing. It's all I can think of now. Nothing else, or I stop thinking.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer. Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Almost done. Almost finished. Just writing out some tags now. I was hoping to get this done earlier today, so I didn't have to interrupt this, but hey, we've got a choice, so this will give everybody lots of time to vote. Yes, that's the excuse I'm going to use. Lots of time to write. Now, YouTube, cease your gayness.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Oh, incidentally, I take it you also saw that they were changing the 40k Discord rules as well. that you had to abide by the new law rules, and that they were not allowed to question it anymore. Anyone talking about femstodies on the Discord, or on Reddit, or anywhere else, would be banned. As GW no doubt wields their influence in these areas to crush down any remaining dissent. It's getting pretty ridiculous, I've got to say, but what else can you possibly expect at this point, eh? There, now I just need to save that, and we're actually done here. Lovely. Apologies for the interruption. There, and you can simply just go public when you're done uploading. Lovely. There. Done. Open. 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 There, let's see. Oh, Jesus, chat. 51 to 49%. 50-50. Oh, Jesus, chat. I see we're a bit split over this, are we? Christ, that's maybe we needed all that time after all, huh? It's Rana. Oh, hey, Arch, have you seen the Warhammer comic that shows the female custodians as creation of Tzeentch and Slanesh? Yes, they'll be featuring in the video, which we'll be releasing in just a few minutes, actually. The whole stated, did you hear about Cristal Candelario? She was just sentenced to life in prison for leaving her 16-month alone for a week, and it starved while she was... Okay, what? No, I not heard about that. That sounds mildly ridiculous. And at Omen, it's okay, Arch. We all have our Kibbs moments, Kenshi. We do. Jesus, 51 to 49%. A 52%. Okay. That's very, very, very close. Okay. Anyone who hasn't voted yet, do it now. Protect him is leading by, well, one singular solitary percent, practically. So cast your votes immediately, as we will be wrapping it up in but a moment. 2% for protect him now. Oh. Burning Terror. Archday, you were listing competent heroes, which is why I said reverse it. Also, were the Sisters of Silence hot? Because that's great irony. Well, in a lot of the art they were. Competent villains, incompetent heroes. Okay, that's worse. Alright, it looks like we will protect him. 52%, we will not abandon our friends. Very well. We will not abandon our friends. Incompetent heroes. Well, honestly, there's a lot of those. Fuck. Just look at the recent Has Been Hotel, for example. Absolutely. Good competent villains as well. Lute and Adam were decently competent. Not perfectly by any stretch of the imagination, but decently competent. Whereas Charlie and Angel Woman, whose name I have now completely spaced, incompetent. They didn't have a plan. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. Alistair, as well, pretty competent villain. Probably a villain, let's be honest here. Although he will be talked back onto the good path, of course, eventually. Alright, that will keep me going pretty well. I would like some more fuel.
Service guarantees citizenship.
I don't know where I'd want... Okay, let's just kind of hedge our bets
Heresy's
for
the
now.
question. Fire is the answer.
Build a few aircraft stations around. Some radar installations as well, just in case. And we can also do just a little bit of railway building, because I'm not sure where my next conquests will take me at the moment. So we're just going to hedge our bets a little bit. Probably hedge further on more civilian factories, because civilian factories are always useful universally, of course. Most incompetent villain, though, most Thrawn from the recent Ahsoka series. My god, was he retarded. On every level, he demonstrated absolute, unwavering, unflinching incompetence. Strategically, tactically, like, on every level, he was just a complete, unflinching tard. He's like, oh, I see, Ahsoka. I see you're capable of defeating my soldiers easily. Here, allow me to slowly drip feed them down onto your lightsaber to, I don't know, slow you down maybe? I haven't thought that far, but please, kill all my dudes. He was awful. He was unfathomably awful. Oh, hold on. I need to look this up. I need to look this up real quick, because I just came up with one of probably the best examples here. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so most competent villain ever that I've seen is from the first Law series. The Wizard... I kind of... No, you know what? I'm not going to tell you, because read the first Law series. I'm not going to tell you, because this is such an enormous spoiler. But the first Law series has probably the single most competent villain in fantasy history ever. Read it now. Ah, forest, eh? Burn it. Throw it into the fires of industry. Chrysalis demands Thranks to be returned home. Queen Chrysalis of the Changelings has issued a very vocal diplomatic protest on our decision to shelter General Thranks within the Empire. She now calls for us to return him home at once, so that she has, as his rightful queen, can deal with him and his treacherous dealings. Accordingly, Thranks has proven to be a good, valuable friend to us, and he approaches our help, appreciates our help and support, but is he worth the trouble we risk in continuing to shelter him? Alright, chat. It has escalated. Now what, chat? Reigning Tedder. Also, can you recommend a good Sister of Silence book? But actually, I was meant to talk about MLP with competent... Yes, I keep forgetting about that. I don't know why. I have a hard time getting words, because I'm thinking on multiple things. I have a difficult time understanding languages right now. It's normal. Okay? It's normal. It's entirely normal. Okay, in MLP, most competent villain, Discord. But that's a little bit of like a thing, because Discord's the only one whose plans kind of sort of worked out. And Discord sowing the seeds that he did to entrap the elements of harmony would mean that Discord would have won in the end, were it not for the main six, and were it not for the fact that Discord himself helped to figure out what was going on there. So Discord, definitely most competent villain. Least competent hero, I mean Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash is a retard. Rainbow Dash is actually a bit of a retard. She is. She couldn't solve shit by herself. Not unless it requires, you know, the mental lesson be absolutely bammed into her head, I guess. Shelter. Shelter has got a solid lead there. Elsa Serrana, $100 to get Arch to play Sucker for Love. Want to see the big scary cat? Romance Lovecraft Girls. Sucker for Love. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up whilst you guys vote then. Game. Prelude on Steam. Perform a series of scary rituals to win over an eldritch cutie and win a smoochie. Excuse me, what? What even is this? Okay, that's... Well, now that's a thing too. Well, that looks mildly terrible. I will consider it. No promises made, but I'll put it on a little side list. I'll look into it. Right, how is chat voting? Shelter 57%. Very well. That's a solid enough lead. Never. He will stay. Chrysalis swears revenge. The queen gnarled aloud as she listened to the changeling in front of her, who relayed the Gryffonian response to her. With a swift stroke and blast from her crooked horn, the small and unimportant minion was obliterated, and only a black, dusty crater remained where he had stood. Listen to me when I say this. The wicked and disgusting griffins within the Empire have today made the biggest mistake in their sorry, petty lives. Their empire has already been torn apart by their own minions, and their decadence and incompetence, even today, does not cease to amaze me. If they so valiantly refuse my orders and demands, then they must be entirely unaware of who they just made an enemy with. Their sorry little empire will collapse like a house of cards, and I will tear it apart and burn it and its citizens to ashes myself I have to. None shall stand in my way. The enchanting present applaud and cheered for their queen. Aw, but I don't want to war with Chrysalis though. Chrysalis best horse. Bug pony best pony. Alright, just order to the east. Yep. Begin to crush the dissidents. With violence if you have to. Nay, with violence even if you don't have to. Lessons must be taught. Valuable lessons. Valuable lessons. I've got the new tank armor coming up too. I am pushing off my teching quite a bit here. I'm hoping that I'm not about to be invaded, but I do have a pretty serious number of dudes ready, so I'm not, like, stupendously worried at the moment. Like, I'm feeling relatively safe, I guess. Let's have you deploy along the southern border, you know, just in case. Just in case. So we've got something there.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Conoda, did you hear about the Pokemon Go avatar change that is so bad that Kotaku agrees with the players that it's a dreadful change? I have seen it. Yes, it looks awful. And worst of all, it doesn't just look awful. It doesn't just turn women into obviously blatant men. It even does things like deform models fully by, if you put a headband on them, it dents their skulls. That's what it does. Like, it is really, really terrible. Alright. I'm gonna need more military factories. It's really awful, and it does turn them into straight up men. Like, I've seen people basically do, like, you know, the medical cutout of the male body? They just overlaid the in-game avatar on top of that. It's like, yeah, no, it's obviously a man. They've obviously created a male figure. Anyone who looks at it is like, yes, that is a male figure. Male arms, male shoulders. They've even made their skin color duller so as to make them look more boring. It's incredible. Like, they've completely not only desexified, but completely unfemaled their characters. It's ridiculous. Beautiful. Okay, now we can make our aircraft. Okay, so I have not engaged much with the airframe designer, honestly, at all, so this will be a new and interesting experience. Rating Terror, how would you make a good mud pony villain? I would make them an authoritarian. Basically, I would make them like a might makes right kind of character. Think like, yes, a Dommy Mummy Mud Pony. Or yes, full-on Dommy Mummy Mud Pony. Enormous big muscles, and she just approaches everything as like, but that's cruel, by just trampling them into the dirt. There's overwhelming physical force. And then having her present that to the rest of Equestria, like, no, this is the good thing. This is what you're supposed to do. The rule of the strong. Right, so fighter first. So machine guns. Machine guns give me air attack 5, weight 1. Air attack 10, weight 10. So it's pretty much 1-to-1. I mean, I'm not going to give them cast weapons, because that'd be retarded. So if I give them, let's say, 6 machine guns, air attack 15.7, agility 53.2. One engine. Actually, what's the difference? One engine that will give you more agility with 2 engines. That's... I did not expect that. That is weird to me. Okay, so one of the reasons why individual single-engine fighters were so good and became the norm was because you saved an enormous amount of weight. An enormous amount of weight. And yet here, 2 engines weigh the same as 1? Excuse a motherfucking moi? How do you square this circle? How do you square this circle? And so one engine was better because it gave you a lighter aircraft. A lighter aircraft usually gave you better speed-to-weight performance, and it also gave you better agility. Whereas 2 engines would cause your aircraft to be less mobile, and it would give you potentially a boost in speed, at least early on. Like the early designs, like the Bowfighter, for example, was designed to be so fast that it would actually be able to outrun intercepting fighters. But that fell apart almost immediately into the war, as better water and air-cooled engines started to get into the into production. The single-seat fighters were now so fast that adding on another engine, the ability of the engine to produce thrust did not outweigh its weight requirements. So, I mean, in this case, I see no reason not to pick 2 engines, actually. Derp. Long-wave radio detection. No. Defense turrets? No. Dire brakes? No. Armor plating, though. Air defense. Yeah, I like armor plating. I like it. Dire brakes are pretty useless. Drop tanks are useful. That will give me 25% extra legs. Oh yeah, definitely drop tanks then. Definitely, no doubt. Non-strategic material usage. What will this cost me? Aluminium. How is my aluminium? Aluminium is fine. Yeah, I don't need to worry about it. Self-sealing fuel tanks, extra fuel tanks, self-sealing fuel tanks, absolutely, no doubt. I mean, extra fuel tanks is nice, because that's 1,000 kilometers range is really good. But no, self-sealing fuel tanks, absolutely. Absolutely. Air attack, 15.7. Speed... 652. That's really fucking good. What about heavy machine guns? I mean, that barely. Okay. Confused now. So I've added in. I have now 12 50 caliber machine guns. The weight does not affect my performance at all. Practically, I am just as fast. I am almost as agile, but I have over doubled my air attack. Yeah, no, obviously I'm going with the fucking heavy 50 caliber machine guns. Derp. I mean, Christ, this is this is a thunderbolt on crack. Holy shit. I mean, what's the downside? 37 production cost, I guess. That is pretty expensive, I suppose. How much cheaper would the single engine? The single engine will be 37. That's 10 IC. How long would it... 10 IC. I'm producing... How much per factory? 4.5 per day. So I would need 10, a little bit over 10 factories to produce one per day. I'm fine with that. I am actually fine with that. I have the industrial base to do that. I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Yep. P-47 Thunderbolt on fucking crack. P-47 Crackbird. Yes, exactly. Do I have a like this would be a fatty patty aircraft. Let's see. Anything that fits? Yeah, that fits. Yeah, fatty patty aircraft. There you go. Fatty patty aircraft. Alright. P-47 Crackbird.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Oh, that is terrifying. That is absolutely god-awfully terrifying. Okay, I'm going to need to make... Do I want a CAS equivalent or a medium airframe equivalent? The funny thing is Mud Pony Magic is supposed to be OP with them literally having a special connection with Earth. And why wasn't there a villain that was on Earth and Lava Bender that can make weather patterns that Pegasi can control? That would be cool too. Yeah, no, have them like making earthquakes and stuff, definitely. That would definitely be nice. I'll add those to Kenshi. I'm assuming you want to add them to Kenshi. Anyone can add anything to Kenshi, by the way. Even after the fact. Noah R. Hey, Arch. I have a question. Your King of Vikings, how often does he go to church? Your King of Vikings, how often does he go to church? What, my king? As in Harold? I don't know. A few times a year, I guess. Or me. I barely ever go to church anymore. Like, it's... Medium Bombay. Like... We've got those old school churches here where they just like read from the book. There's nothing interesting happening. Like, I already know the values you want to impart upon me. I don't need you to teach me anymore. I kind of view it like video game reviews, like back in the days. Like, this is interesting and fun moral teachings. Now I'm like, yeah, I know this.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Medium Bombay. Okay, so... Like... What's the difference here? Ah, this is my favorite music track. So, Medium Bombay, ground attack 6, and that gives it the ability to do logistic strikes as well. And do I have to have one? I do. I could add in machine guns, but... Cast weapon. Anti-tank cannon. Ground attack 4, weight 8, agility 15. Why would I want that over a Bombay? Isn't the Bombay just better at that point? I feel like the Bombay is just better at that point, yeah. It's like, can I just add on 1,000,000 Bombays? Can I just make the Bombay fucking huge? I can, okay. Most expensive possible design. Self-sealing fuel tanks, def. Armor plating, of course. Flying boat, really? Surface detection. Oh, that's cute. Yep. Self-filling fuel tanks. Electronics, strat bombing. Nah, I don't need to worry about that. I mean, air attack is 98% worthless for these fuckers, as they're not really going to be dealing with enemy fighters, so meh. Okay, that's a ground attack of... where's it ground attack? Ground attack. 0. Excusez-moi. Misa confuse. Misa very confused. Misa dreadfully confused.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Misa very, very confused. Okay, if I give it that, it doesn't... Huh. 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 Okay. Can it... Auto design? If I do that, it's like... Okay, I'm gonna presume that's just like a bug or something. And it's like, I don't know. That's weird, but I'm going to presume it can do ground attack with medium bomb base, because it says there, when on close support, ground attack +6. So I'm presuming that's how that works. Presuming. Okay, so 4 engines maybe. Medium bomb bay. That lets me have... Okay, so there's an X there. Why is there an X there? Can I have more 2 attack bomber? Okay, so it can't have more than 2 of them. Makes sense. Makes sense. Small bomb bay. That gives me ground attack 8. What? Hey, 3. Okay, well, we're just gonna do a mix of small and big bombs in the bay, because why the hell not? Agility 58, which is still not bad, honestly, for a tactical goddamn bomber. Very expensive, though. Very expensive tactical bomber. 3 waterline injections will cut the cost quite drastically, and it will maintain its speed, no problems. Can it even do 2 engines? Yeah, it can do 2 engines just fine. Ground attack, 28. Its agility will be nothing, so it will have no chance to really defend itself. But its aerial defense is going to be what? 20. Not bad, but not amazing. Okay, so we're going to armor it, obviously, and we're going to give it self-fueling fuel tanks. Air defense 34, that's not bad. And if maybe we smash on... A couple of defense. So that's air defense 40. That will make it pretty difficult to shoot down. It's going to be really expensive, but it is going to hit like a ton of absolute fucking bricks, which is kind of what you want with ground attackers. Devastator.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Weight exceeds thrust for these missions. Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay, that is cool. I like that. So you've got to have a certain amount of thrust to be able to carry missions. Meku sensu. Okay. I have never engaged with this designer before, so I have no idea if these are decent aircrafts whatsoever. But, you know, we're just going to go for it and see what happens. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per line. Yep, 10, and you're going to need lots of those, right? I can cool off a little bit on those. I'll keep those up, keep those up. Keep those up, and I just need to basically build a shit ton of military industry now. That's my thing. I also need another synthetic refinery, although that's not necessary just yet. Right. Expensive. Very expensive. And train. Oh, Tower over the tank icon. See ground attack. I sort of figured that out a little bit. Those aren't heavy machine guns, aren't they? I thought they were. Are they? Yeah. Oh, my machine guns. Okay, well, good enough, good enough. They'll do. Now we've restored order to the east. Now restore order to the universities. Bring them in line. Sandum, Arch, do you know anything on the B-17E flying fortress called All 666? If not, then you should look it up. Love the history behind it and its crew. I do not, so I'll consider looking into that. The B-17 flying fortress was a beautiful, if not very functional. Oh boy, did we just did the big one just kick off? It did. The Great War. The Changeling Queendom has officially announced that a state of war exists between Equestria and them from now on. Several bombing raids were performed by Changeling aviation onto the frontal units and towns in the area before the official declaration of war. This is a turning point in history for us all. Equestria has not seen a major war in many centuries, and the public is stunned by the events. Changelings seem very determined and confident in their actions, which can't be said about Equestria. Oh, Jesus. It will take a while for the pony nations to put their economy on war rails. We will observe the situation. Yeah, they are getting their fucking little pony patooters absolutely pounded off the bat there, which is only natural. The fall of Van Hoover. After several days of fighting, Changelings broke into and took control of the strategically vital Equestrian city on northwestern shore, Van Hoover. Equestria has lost a valuable naval base and trade port, and Changeling have secured their right flank. However, Equestrian commanders are already planning a swift counteroffensive to liberate the city and secure its harbor. Well, they better get fucking moving on that, because it looks like it's going pretty bad for them. Equestria loses Tall Tale. Following fierce close-quarters combat, Changeling troops have officially gained control of the city Tall Tale. The Equestrian defenses were badly damaged by a bombing raid shortly before Chrysalis' army attacked. A great firestorm had engulfed the city, burning its many parks and trees to ashes. The outer defenses did not hold for long, and the fighting boiled down to intense house-to-house combat. Grain silos had been turned into fortresses and prevailed the longest. Despite heavy losses, the Changelings were able to advance and push out the defenders. Now that important city falls to the invaders, one wonders when the advance will slow down, or if it will slow down at all. Indeed, indeed. Hard attack and breakthrough. Curtail the universities. There, let's see. So that allows me to core stuff, does it? How does that work? Hello, that's a lot of stuff. Zongulese operative. Minotaur operative. North Sabikran operative. Oh, those are okay, yeah, yes, those are those things. Changeling operative, please.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Radio propaganda, game-based war support. I got plenty. So how does one?
Fire is the answer.
Can be cored by Gryffonia using the interrogation occupation law if African compliance demonstrated force 40. Okay, so I need to increase compliance first and foremost. Fair enough. All right. Rebellions are kept at a minimum. Let's try civilian oversight. Let's see if that really kicks in like a mad dash of opposition. Under a clear sky, giving his war on Skyfall Republic. Ooh. Is that Aquilonian Republic? Gryffonian Republic? Sunstrike? Fietre? That. Hello. Fighting an offensive war. Against whom? On Hautland. But it has no allies as far as I can tell. Yes. I think you too shall fall. Oh, don't do that. I think you too shall fall. Right, the new armies have been deployed. Oh, they're eating all of the food in the area. That's unfortunate. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's silly of you. They're eating all of the food. Okay, split into two smaller forces then. So that you are no longer eating the local area dry. Then you may reunite. And commit yourself to training and learning your brand new fanciful equipment. Automatic digital computers. How's that working? 8%. Sycamonese operative captured. Huh. That's fine. We can deal with that level of unrest. No biggie, no biggie. I'm lagging a bit behind on my weaponry, I will admit. I'm not loving it. Right, but we are working towards the next level of armor right now, so what else? Industry? I kind of just want to keep going industry. Knights, yes, higher standards, higher standards. The standards can never be high enough. The longsword finally, civil war finally ends. It was a heavily modified B-17 during World War II. The Fox Media, Howdy Arch, the Warhammer Rulebook helped my brother conquer a reading disability back in the day. The political capture of the setting is sad to see. It absolutely is, no doubt about it. Trusty James, ever check out the Old World Blues Fallout mod from Hearts of Iron? I have. It's very, very, very good. I enjoy it quite a lot. You want to give it multiple LMGs, not heavy arch. Also, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 good enough. I'm still sporting a semi. Kenshi. You missed my super chat earlier, Kenshi. I'm sorry. I saw it, and that's why my brain was like, oh, I've read that. I do that. Here, I'll add it in as well. My brain does that. I will receive a message on Discord and I will be like, oh, I've seen that. I'll reply to it later. Then I forget all about it. Zero Firewater. Archly, I was watching you gatekeeping videos numerous times. All I got from it is you and Dev himself screaming at me that he's a traitor with his endless repressive tolerance for the left. Kenshi. And Kenshi again, can you repeat or spell out the series you recommended? How much for a changeling playthrough? A changeling playthrough? Ah, hell. See, I would enjoy that. What, I asked 500 for Gryffonia? Half of that for changelings. 250 for changelings. I'll do changelings for 250, no problems. Because I like the changeling. It's fucking hard, but I enjoy it. Right, somebody asked a question of me, which I should answer before I start reading. Because if I start reading, I'll forget the question. Also, you know what I really should do? I really should actually assign, like, a supreme commander to all of this. That'd be useful. Unyielding Defender, Offensive Doctrine, Diamond Dog. Cautious, Inflexible, Old Guard. Old Guard. Well, this guy looks like the obvious choice, honestly. Yep, he'll be a perfect armor commander later on. So, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Actually, remind me, chat. I'm going to read these two, just because this is going to be a little bit of a rant thing. 10-11 Riverlands Hoofball Cup. Welcome back to the 5th Riverlands Cup. This week kicked off with Dynamo Rijekograd and Hunter Svetigrad with a 1-0 tight win. Wittenlander and Watertown HC was a wonderful goal fest at 4-4-7-5 with an absolute howler scored in the 116th minute. Manchester United and Bakare Mariners showed experience in their 0-0-3-1 game, but a pleasant surprise with Hunter Svetigrad and Wild Vodina having themselves a 2-3 game. Next week, CAD Watertown HC destroyed Dynamo Rijekograd 5-2. Manchester United and Wild Vodina was not a contest, 8-1, with an own goal from Wild Vodina. Final was a spectacular 3-3 between Wild Vodina and Watertown HC, which resulted in penalties barely going Wild Vodina's way. 5-3, after two wonder saves to the delight of 31,000 ponies in National Stadium at Farbrook. Popular musician performs in Canterlot. Despite the fact that the war ravages Equestria right now, Octavia, a famous equestrian musician, performed in Canterlot Grand Opera today. She says she dedicated her music to all ponies that are protecting equestrian freedom at the front lines. She also announced that it was a charity concert and that all collected money are going to be transferred to the government for building a fighter aircraft. All ponies cheered. Changelings are still advancing. They're doing very well. So there are two ways of playing changelings. Either you declare war early and you try to rush, and you gotta rush hard. You gotta rush hard. And maybe you win before Staliongrad, before New Ponyland and whatever gets involved, and you try to win like within a year or two. Or you go hard and you wait a few years and you let Equestria build up, and you do the fun and games edition of the war. I prefer the latter. The latter war is brilliant because it literally is just war with America and the Soviet Union and Britain and France all at once, and it is deliciously retardedly hard.
Service guarantees citizenship.
You guys are a little bit overstretched there. Let's bring you back. The Shire has fallen. Black smoke can be seen rising over the town of Shire today as the last remnants of equestrian forces were pushed out after a bitter battle for this strategic location. The equestrian positions held out valiantly, shooting down one changeling after another as they attempted to fly across the river that protects the city. After running out of ammunition, the officers present gave the order to say what they could and retreat. A small rearguard keeping the attackers at bay before they too left the city. However, many died during the retreat as airborne changeling units were quick to charge after them. Having crossed the river, Shire is now under changeling control, and the advance continues. Damn. Trusty James, have you considered hosting a big Hearthstone 4 game with followers, like the big Tommy K lobbies? I can't say that I have. No. That's a potential idea. And Reigning Terror, $100. Thank you very much, sir. Can these pay for Kenshi and Changeling? You know what? I am going to say yes. I'm gonna say yes to that, simply because I'll be honest. I don't think the Kenshi goal is going to be met. I'm actually almost certain it's not going to be met. So I'm going to allow it, because it'll kind of probably be for one of them anyways. Okay, we'll add that in. Reigning 10, another 100. Thank you. Another Kenshi and Changeling. I can't fund more than this. Don't worry about it. Thank you very much. That is that's a lot, of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. There you go. Well, $50, and I will do the Changeling one as well then. Although it might not be soon, mind you, as there might be a little need for a break in between all of the Equestria war stuff. Bear that in mind, but it will be done for another 50. Alright. How far are we away? Close. 400. Okay, do I have anything to use all this political power for? Yes, advisors! I completely forgot about that goddamn mechanic. Land doctrine, of course. Army planning, useless. Naval aviation, useful. How do I does not have developed science space? Oh, it's already maxed. Okay, never mind. Negligible literacy, limited literacy, modest literacy, mass literacy. How do I... Okay, so these can only be done if you are, like, specific tags, I guess. Alright. Research and production. If I pick... No, it doesn't allow me to pick any. Okay, fine. Export focus. That's fine for now. I don't mind. That's okay. Occupied territories are still keeping pretty quiet. The barony of Angriva is a little bit upset. Let's do local police force at least there. Weekly stability. I'm at 82%. Yes, let's do weekly stability. Increase that a little bit. That's the armor. Do I want heavies? Ooh, of course I want heavies. Of course I want heavy tanks. Why would I not want heavy tanks? Everyone likes heavy tanks. Mine is armor on heavy. That's awful. Defense. Heavy tank chassis. Yeah, Gryffonia then. You will be liberated, you little foolish shits. Very soon you will be liberated. Level 2 railway. Ooh, nice. Reichswaffen. Ja. Wie viel Waffenreich? Ooh, what are you lacking? What are you lacking? Oh, magic equipment. Oh, I need a lot more magic equipment for my knights, do I? Ooh, okay. Okay, well, we've got all the artillery we need, so we can refocus a little bit there. There. Oh, I do need ass loads more rubber. Okay, rubber and aluminium. Okay, never mind. Export focus, limited exports. Yep, first and foremost. And then, where was the trade window? That's a good question. There we go. I still need lots of that. Equestria. Equestria would love to trade with me, no doubt. 16. No. Commonwealth of New Maryland. Sure. 24. There. That should satisfy most of my immediate demands. Alright, let's begin our push in. The brilliant knights of the new rising power of Gryffonia will smash through their pathetic defenses and teach them yet another valuable lesson about the failures of democracy and the inevitable, unavoidable rise of monarchism, the only true governing ideology worth considering. As usual, the supply situation is shit the moment I cross the border, but that's fine. My griffins are used to being hungry. They know by now that being hungry is a sign of impending victory. Yes, that's what it is.
Fire is the answer.
If griffins are hungry, the griffins know that the griffins are winning. That's how that works. Hungry griffins are victorious griffins. That's how it's always been.
Question. Fire is the answer.
That is how it always will be. Crush that division under your might, your talons. Ooh, I don't like you. You look creepy. I don't like you at all. I really dislike you, actually. For reasons beyond my immediate comprehension, I really dislike that pony. Do not let them disengage. Okay, there might be a brilliant opportunity for a proper breakthrough here. Yes, I think there might be. Move forward, my darlings. We shall crush through their lines and trap them against the sea. Let's see if these non-monarchist, filthy Republican scum can swim, shall we? Push, my beauties, push. Ever forward. What now? Signal company, that would be kind of nice. I really should be getting some of these. Yes. That one. Signal companies. Point of power, recovery rate, initiative, organization, supply. Yes, these aren't actually useful in this one. Logistic companies, though. God help me, I do need those pretty goddamn badly. For whilst hungry griffins do indeed signal victory, if we can make them hungry and victorious, that would in fact be the superior option of the two. Victory does not necessarily necessitate hunger, it's just usually a consequence of victory. Yes, that's how that works. You don't have to be hungry to be victorious, you're just usually hungry when you are victorious. They've fallen back a unit far enough there. Okay. Move forward to surround that area. The sack of Skyfall? How dare you suggest that? How dare you suggest I would sack it? I would never sack it. I am conquering. I am not some despoiling barbarian. Let's keep going. The sack of Skyfall. When the Skyfall government realized that they could not bribe the enemy soldiers and thus save their capital. Oh no! I'm not sure why I pressed the OK button on that, because I knew I hadn't finished reading it, but my brain was like, oh yes, if you press accept, that means that you've accepted the fact that you have received the message or something. No, that is, that's not how that works. That's never how that has worked. At any point, ever, actually. Why would you think that? That's retarded. That's actually legitimately stupid. Why would you think that? God help me. Employ full pressure. Do not allow the filth to catch their breath or to restore their strength.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Simply march forward until there is nothing left in front of you but a handful of scattered and defeated remnants of what was once the misled and misguided Republican army. There we are. Bug Pony, Sir Dead Puppy says Bug Pony is best pony for the Changeling playthrough. Also, read Murky number 7. Ponies and slaves in the bombed out ruins of Philadelphia is awesome. You love the death camp in the subway and how a born slave fights the masters. Is this Fallout Equestria? This sounds like Fallout Equestria. It definitely sounds like Fallout Equestria. Alright, every Gryff. Continue pushing in there. You've almost got this secured. Ah, damn it. A little localized counterattack is threatening to upset our victories. Get reinforcements in there. Hold that area open. Continue to encircle the city. There we are. What do you mean I can't select everything? Blah. Reset. Reset. Reset? Okay. Confused. Why can't I have that? Haukland? Haukland, do you think you claimed something? You think you've taken something from me, don't you? Factory, civilian factory, naval dockyard, that one. Submit demand. I will have that too. I will have that too. I am so unsure what this is. There we go. Yes, you will give me everything.
Heresy's
Demand.
the question. Fire is the answer.
Demand, 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 demand. You will give me everything. You shall have nothing, Haukland. All shall be mine. Okay. Are we finished? Are we done? I'm confused. Ah, confirm and exit, of course. Retarded. There. Beautiful. Reunited. And that was a lot of ships I just got there. Wonderful. Wonderful. Rain Tedder, all my chats will be on Rumble for a while. Also both. I'll be on Rumble for a while. Well, I mean, I'd prefer it if you move over to Rumble, honestly. It's Rumble gives me a bigger share of the donations, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. I take it that too is probably for Kenshi, as Kenshi is getting a nice revival. Sandoom, I just remember, but was art ever made of Roxy being comforted by you from the FNAF security breach stream? I completely forgot about it. Changelings. Yes, it was made. It should be in the community tab on the YouTube channel right here. If you go to the community section of the ArchCast and scroll down a little bit, you should find the art created by the community right there. It was indeed made. It was made. A record-breaking war. Max Kessler, Kenshi, and changelings. Okay, well, changelings are definitely funded. We're doing a changelings campaign. Thank you very much, Max. Aquilian operative captured. Filthy, dirty, disgusting Aquilians. Now, I want more... I want more agencies, so let's build some more of these. How is my my building going? Slowly but surely. Nice, nice. Right, and tanks. Finally, tanks. An improved medium tank chassis. Okay, what we got here? Well, let me finish the superjet first, actually, before I get going on that. Reels edit. What is Kenshi goal at? The Kenshi goal should be visible on screen. I believe it is at... how many percentage is that? Several percentage. Yes, several percentage. 72% it's at. So 719 out of 1,000, which will guarantee 10 Kenshi streams. The real Halsinator. Kenshi, you underestimate how much of your audience watches for your rants rather than gameplay. I might. I very well might. And Ranger Steel. Hey Art, I have to ask, why Strawberry Griffin? Because Strawberry Griffin was considered very attractive by the artist, and so Strawberry Griffin was selected as the primary inspiration for the thumbnail, of course. Which is only natural, in my opinion. Only natural, indeed. Right, tank. Let's see. 3 pony turret. 3 pony turret. Well, obviously it's going to be the 3 pony turret. So one of the main reasons why the German tanks were so much better than the French tanks, so the French tanks were better than the German tanks by quite some degree, actually. Better armor, better guns, but worse engines usually, was the 3 pony turret. Because having 3 people in the turret instead of 1 pony in the turret, which is many of the French tanks, meant that the pony in the turret had to operate the gun, he had to command the tank, he had to load the gun, he had to aim the gun, he had to fire the gun, and also give instructions to the driver whilst he was doing this. It was a lot of tasks to do. Whereas in a 3 pony turret, you could have a gunner, and you could have a loader, which allowed the commander to concentrate primarily on the job of commanding the tank, pointing out targets, giving out ranges, aiding the gunner, and also telling the driver where to go. It was a massive, massive, massive improvement. Let's see. Boogie suspension, clawback suspension, Torchmar inter-levered road wheels. Max speed. Always speed. Speed is crucial. Now, breakthrough is great. Breakthrough is amazing, but speed for tanks is even more crucial. Welded armor. Do not use riveted armor. That's a terrible idea. Cast armor might... Yeah, it gives the same, but the production cost is huge because cast armor is really, really, really difficult. Now, welded armor is not ideal because it should actually give you a malus because the welds themselves are weaker. This is actually a little bit weird that cast armor is somehow... Well, it does increase hardness by a little bit, so there you go. So, because cast armor should be tougher than welded armor. Diesel, gasoline, or petro-electrical. Damn, petro-electrical engine? Really? Huh. Well, diesel has obvious advantages of reliability, but again, speed, speed, speed. Gasoline it is. Spell blast cannon, heavy machine gun, small cannon, small cannon. Basic heavy cannon. Actually, do I unlock better cannons when I unlock... I do. Okay, so I should wait a little bit longer. I don't have the factories to start tank production yet anyway, so it doesn't hurt at all if I chill out a little bit and get some better guns. Improved heavy tank cannon. Right, let's go for the artillery. Right, you've trained. Revenge of the Queen. It all appeared to be a perfectly normal day. Today, for the most part, General Thranks had used the time in Gryffonia and away from other changelings to better incorporate himself into the life of a griffin. Oftentimes, he had used his shape-shifting abilities to fit in, but many griffins, especially those who had previously worked with him, respected and liked him either way, no matter the appearance. Thranks has even gone so far as finding a lover that lived just outside of the capital. It was all too perfect. It seemed, and the lone changeling appeared to be in good claws. Silly, silly, silly changeling, believing that your queen would allow you to live such a life. Very foolish indeed. That was nothing but a ruse, though, it seems. Earlier today, during a visit at a restaurant, Thranks began to cough heavily and shortly after collapsed to the ground. Griffins nearby immediately rushed to his rescue, seeing him cough up blood, but it was no use. General Thranks died. A funeral had already been organized for this brave changeling, and he has been issued Gryffonian citizenship post-mortem to thank him for the appreciation he shared for our nation and culture. Shockingly, though, police has found out that the cause of Thranks' death was a deadly poison, one that has never been seen or used in all of Gryffonia before. In addition, his fiancée is nowhere to be found following his death. Could this be the work of a fellow changeling sent by Chrysalis? For now, we are unsure. Are we? Are we, though? Are we unsure, though? Are we uncertain about this? Is this truly a mystery? Is this something we are confused over? Is this one of those scenarios where expat Russian dies in London from radioactive poisoning and we're all sitting there going like, I wonder how that could have happened. That's awfully weird. We didn't know of any, radioactive leaks nearby, but clearly we must have missed one. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. I question this. Under the guidance of Duchess Gabrielle Eagleclaw, we have managed to reunite all of Hexland and assert dominance over former Imperial vassals. However, our path does not end here. Still much to be done if we wish to restore the Empire to its former glory and might. Oh yeah. We've still got a lot of wars to fight, I see. Good. Good. Before that, though... I don't think the changelings will allow me. Yeah, sadly, I can't do that, sadly. Do I have any research slots? Because those are incredibly valuable and unfathomably useful. I don't, do I? I don't think I do. Which is kind of terrible. Building slot. Building slot. Damn. Maybe if I spell it correctly. Maybe that helps. Maybe it helps if I spell it correctly. Reese. Arch. Okay. Research bonus for industry.
Fire is the answer.
Research slot. There you go. That's a research slot. Is that all? Is that the only one? It looks like it. Griffins are apparently not very intelligent, I think. 1 out of 3 found. Yes, but we got those 2, okay. Alright, let's head for the research slot then, because that is kind of important. Before we continue going to war, as I'd like to get some of my more advanced stuff up and running. I'd like to fully rearm my knights, obviously. And preferably also perhaps make some tanks or something. That'd be just lovely as well. Right, 1 more of each of these. Need more resources. Need more stuff. Need more of everything. Everything. Lord Metalman, hey Arch, on Twitter, that Nick Davies guy, old white dwarf writer, doubled down with you don't like the film stories. Well, here's the suicide help hotline. Of course they do. Because you gotta bear in mind, these people believe that if you don't believe everything they believe, if you don't subscribe 100% to their ideas, then you must be evil. Then you must be insane or crazy or depressed or something. They cannot understand for even a single solitary second that you might simply disagree with them. This is not something they are able to understand. That is the problem with them. They don't understand the world at all around them. They can't. They are philosophically incapable of viewing the world in anything but the purest black and the purest white of their ideology. Mischief of Youth. Gabriella was delighted to have a private dinner with her dear nephew. Responsibilities and stress have only piled up, and she was aching for these little moments of respite. Had she known that ruling a vast state much larger than her fiefdom entailed this much paperwork, perhaps she'd considered giving Eros a chance. Of course, none of that would happen, and the peer's rights will be secured. Taking a careful bite of the Mashkawian watermelon slice, she turned attention to the young emperor, who seemed a little distraught. By the way, can I make, Oh, I can't, can I? Well, build like 3 more of those. Queue those up, because I'm gonna want those. Oh, yes. Repair the civilian factories, obviously. I'm gonna want those, then I'm gonna need more artificial resources. My child, how are your studies? Are you progressing well? Yes, Auntie, everything is fine, Grover responded, rather unconvincingly, fiddling with his dessert. Gabriella might not have children of her own, but she could tell when someone was being evasive. Still, he was young and could be excused, but such habits must be excised before they would become troublesome. Your Grace, you remember our talk we had about falsehoods? Yes, Auntie, I remember. It's just that I don't want to disappoint you. He spoke in a low, embarrassed tone. Mr. Longbeak has caught me sleeping at his class. I can explain. It is time to beat the child, I'm afraid. He must be punished. I know it sounds harsh to beat the child over something like that, but sometimes beatings are the only way. Gabriella did not expect such a thing. At worst, she had considered that her nephew was pulling pranks, but this seemed rather innocuous. Nephew dearest, are you having trouble sleeping? I hope you're not having nightmares again. No, Auntie. Last week when I was at the palace library, I borrowed a copy of Bygone Griffins of Greatness. It was so interesting I could read it all night. He cowered a little when he saw Auntie's disapproving gaze. Not that I did that or anything, but the lives of the past emperors are so fascinating. I wonder how could I be as great like my ancestors, and to be honest, Mr. Longbeak's classes is rather boring. Grover finishes quietly while swallowing the last piece of his Aquiline chocolate eclair. Chocolate eclairs are great, by the way. Gabriella pondered for a while on this knowledge. While sleeping during class was certainly a bad habit, the fact that the young emperor showed much interest in history suggested a certain cleverness that his friends didn't share. Thus she made her decision. Grover, you will not be disciplined. However, you will make up for what you missed on your new class. He stared in confusion. I think that you're ready to begin studying history. Mr. Longbeak's services will not be required anymore for the time being, but I don't want to hear again that you're being tardy, all right? Yes, Auntie. I won't let you down. Ara ara indeed. 2 magic infantry equipment. Really? Am I using magic infantry equipment for my fucking garrisons, am I? That sounds silly of me. Imperial... No. Garrison units. Garrison units. God help me. Garrison units for occupation duties, not knights. Heavens. Simplified turret design. I don't like the usage of the word simplified. I hate the word simplified. Despise it. It's usually the word that comes before wokeism. As in back all good old days of gaming, we thought to ourselves, oh, we're just making gaming a little more welcoming. We're making video games a little bit simpler for retarded people. Yes. That was indeed the problem. Accessibility should have been a dirty word even back then, but sadly, it was not viewed as the filthy, dirty admission of guilt that it should have been. A tragedy that hopefully we will never commit again. Stand the railway. Alright. I am probably going to be declaring war on the Aquilonian Republic, aren't I? I've got a sneaking suspicion. Yes. But first, I might be going north, the Gryffonian Republic. Okay, let me make sure that I've actually got some railways heading north. I do. They're actually not bad at all. We'll queue those up so that I know that I'm ready for future endeavors in this direction. Better. Better to plan for the future than be caught wanting at the end. Cannons, and I do need a lot more resources. Mechanized duties. Modified synthetics. Damn, that is a lot of modified synthetics you can get here. Fuel gain from... Oh, no! Out of habit, I sometimes click. And at that point, I saw myself moving the mouse towards the icon. And I'm like, stop it. You shouldn't do that. And in mid-movement, I'm calling out to myself, but my brain's connection to my arm is apparently not good enough to stop myself from doing the thing I knew I shouldn't be doing. I don't know what that says about me, honestly. I don't know what that says about me. Something not good, I'm sure. I kind of want triple knights units. I really want triple knights units. Problem is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to bust straight through my capacity if I do that. Yes, I would. It would put me far.
Heresy's the question.
Oh,
Fire
but I
is the
can get
answer.
2 more. Nice, I will. Incoming raid. Urgent news arrived from Crownspike, one of our border states. A marauding army from Sunstrike clan has crossed the boundaries between our 2 nations and engaged in looting, pillaging, and burning down local settlements. Should we divert some troops from the front line to handle this incursion? Of course. You filthy little shits. Dispatch the knights immediately. And protect the civilians. Okay, the knights are... did they not actually, put anything there to launch this invasion? The Kingdom of Verdina joins the Entente. Earlier today, the Second Aquilonian Republic and the King of Verdina issued a joint statement that the latter has now formally granted member states of Entente. Whether this partnership will be used for offensive or defense purposes remains to be seen, but undoubtedly, asks the defense. Useful offensive armament capacity being drawn up. Okay, so yes, I'm a little bit worried about what these little shits are thinking of down here. I'm a little bit nervous of what exactly they're up to. Okay, you go back under her command, you silly little willies. As they're probably preparing their own counter-revolution. The real Holzinator. Hey, Kenshi, Arch, you got me playing Rimworld again. Someone raised my base only to come face to face with my grizzly bear. He knocked it out with a knife. Yayo is one hell of a drug. Yes, it is. Air defense, ground attack, yes, ground attack. You gotta make those little bastards bleed when you hit them. That is of absolute paramount importance. God, my poor factories. My poor factories. A crush deal contract. Alright, I want to continue for that R&D standard. No. Economy. I need the economy going now. Let's see, what's my output? I've almost reached 1 a day for the fighters, which is not bad. It's not amazing either by any stretch of the imagination, but it is not bad. Right, and I probably got the best tanks guns I'm going to have in the short term. Right, keep leveling up the knights, and now I can actually start making armor with the improved medium tank chassis. Let's see, 3-pony turret, of course. Clawbeak suspension, absolutely. Welded armor, natürlich. Gasoline engine. Medium armament. Let's see. Medium cannon, medium howitzer. So, spell blast cannon means that I will be using... the little thing. I've got 19 of them, so I'm pretty confident I can probably pay for the Spell Blast Cannon. Conceptualized from the theory of magical weaponry, this cannon fires potent magical blasts, which remain effective as both soft and armored targets. However, the design is expensive and difficult to maintain. I like expensive and difficult to maintain. I'm quite fond of it, actually. Unless, what's its stats compared to a medium cannon? Better, just better, right? Never no doubt then. Radios, obviously, basic radios. Sloped armor, natürlich. Stabilizers, that's breakthroughs. Breakthrough is fantastic. Wet ammunition storage, I don't need it. Alright then, now comes the engines and the armor. Right, so, I would prefer 8 kilometers per hour. Ideally speaking, 8 kilometers per hour is like the ideal. Because that makes them twice as fast as infantry. Now, however, what is the speed of my trucks? Because it's pointless to make them that fast if my trucks can't go that fast. So, advanced trucks. 17. Jesus. 12. My god, they are dumb fast, huh? Okay, 8 kilometers per hour it is then. And that also gives me an assload of armor, but it does derp my reliability into the ground. Okay. In that case... wet ammo storage, then. My own piercing is 70, so having an armor of 120 is probably is probably overdoing it. 6 or 17 fucking steps. What is the piercing of an anti-tank gun? 5 still movement to pack. Piercing is 90. Okay. So if I keep my armor above 90, I should be pretty good. Although it will be softened by vehicles, of course. Alright, 70% reliability, 126 armor. Pretty damn good. Pretty great, actually. Well, we call the Terror class after Reigning Terror, because he donated a lot today, and he deserves a little bit of an extra. There you go. The Terror class. Right, we're gonna need a lot of those, and I'm gonna need a lot more military production yet again. Oh, military production. More. We shall be a nation under arms. Screw being a country, we are going to be one very large military organization. That's all. Synthetic rubber processing. Uh, 42 units for use. Right. Let's keep doing those. That'll help me with the rubber production. Grover Transportation Services. Production cost, reliability, breakthrough. Always. Greifswagen. Armor, definitely. And how are things going in Equestria, I wonder? The changeling advance has come to a halt, it has. A big old halt as well. Yeah, see, there's the issue. If you don't win quick, then you start getting really badly bogged down as the changelings. Really badly bogged down. As Equestria will only grow stronger. The Equestrian armies will only grow vaster and vaster and vaster and vaster. Until there is nothing you can do. Except roll over and be absolutely murdered. Bonus research for electronics. That's my aircraft again. Production efficiency gain is not necessarily the most valuable of things, but it is useful. There, tank production begins as well. Okay, you can start converting old guns. As can you. That'll free up some more. And you can start converting old rifles. How on God's good earth you managed to convert old bolt-action rifles into SMGs, I do not know. In fact, I have not the faintest fucking clue how such a feat is possible, but the video game claims it is, and I am simply just going to abide by the video game's instructions on the matter. Nice and simple. Right, so I want some decent defensive commanders here, if at all possible. Defensive 1 is not very good. You'll do. Cancel those and assign the army to guarding the southern frontier. As I am a little bit worried about those bastards down there and their numbers, and their increasing numbers, more correctly, even more importantly. Still have not gotten access to another one of those. How is my suppression operations going? 33%. So Katarine Principality is heading in the very much so right direction. Yale Rectorate as well. We can keep those for civilian oversight. And we'll go local police forces there. Knightly Order of the Trinity joins the Entente. There's going to be a lot of enemies to my south. A lot of enemies to my south. Tempted to make another army. I have 271,000 pony power. How much would another army cost me in terms of pony power, I wonder? Let's see. Imperial Guard divisions. Too much. Okay. We're going to hope that our 24 divisions at the moment is good enough for now. Knight Division 3. Speaking of, I should be using this. See, army planning is pointless for me. I never use the army planning thing, ever. I think it's kind of, well, retarded, honestly. I kind of dislike it, strongly. Keep going with the economy. I need the most ridiculously boosted economy imaginable. R&D department. Alright, almost caught up with the rubber production, which is very nice. Infantry weaponry. Production efficiency. Right, what was I thinking about? What was I had a thought in my little brain that since disappeared. Ah, yes, military nonsense. That's what I need to do. Right, so first and foremost, this. I've got static warfare, which I love. I love static warfare. Zero Firewater. You don't like Cozy Glow, but from the clips I saw and reading the wiki, you don't really know why she has a lust and obsession with... moving it. Power and friendship. She got tossed in hell, then encased in stone. She did. That was after, though. I believe so, at least, because she tried to rise up and capture the School of Friendship, and after that she got tossed into hell, I think, was the way it worked. None of these are particularly super useful. Entrenchment speed is, railway bombardment is, Pegasi unit design, accomplished heritage, field officer division penalty, Knights unit design cost. That one. Navy, let's see. Well, obviously battlefield support is the best one, so we're going to spend those 100 right away. And experience gain daily. I should have picked that one ages ago, of course, but I didn't because retarded. Do I have an equivalent over here? Not really, no. Okay. Let's see. Superior firepower or mobile warfare? That is always the question. Superior firepower or mobile warfare? I am going to lean more and more towards armor, so I'm going to go with mobile warfare. Which isn't going to help me much right now, but I do intend to lean ever more towards the usage of armor, so that's the one we're going to go for. As we are now producing one medium tank a day, which is not bad, not too shabby, not too shabby. And we've almost solved our rubber problem too. Our rubber bubba problem. Fantastic. Aggregated factories. More modified synthetic rubber, and we can probably stop our trades then when that comes in. Let's increase our trade. Keep production up of the K-22 Devastators. And we are now producing several P-47 Crackbirds. Lovely, 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 lovely. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Keep going with the Knights. I want to level the fuck out of the Knights. The Knights are awesome. And that's going to keep me in oil as well, I imagine. Right, what else do I need? What should I be prioritizing right now? I've got air power. Air base, naval base, all airplanes, air defense, that's good. Quick hitters, knights, max speed, leg infantry. Armored, armor, definitely. Research, radar. Strategic bombers? No, not yet. Navy. How many naval factories are there? 4. Okay, never mind. Yeah, 4 dockyards. I'm not building a navy with 4 dockyards. That is not going to be an immediate thing that's going to be happening. No. Commerce Raider, Hunter Killer Destroyer. Not sure, honestly. Radar? Yeah, let's get starting on some radar. Definitely get started on some radar. Radar will be very useful. We've got plenty of magic rifles. I'll move a little bit out of that as well. Right, that's 2 tanks a day now. Brilliant. Alright, that's the cultural R&D department. Right, I think I want to finish as much of that as I can before I want to go for the bigger war, I think. $200x for support entrenchments. That's quite nice. That could potentially get me some really powerful ones. Infrastructure, connect to the north. 19 others gain 1 infrastructure. Nice. Yes, we're going to head north first, I think. The north will be the first target of conquest. I shouldn't have spent quite so much army experience. I suddenly realized with the start, as I remember, of course, that if you spend that much army experience, you're not actually going to have enough to customize armies, are you? Okay, well, we can just do some training to get that back up again. Right. Armor division. What have we got? What have we got in terms of armor? Panzer division. 3 and 2. That's pretty bad. Light tank template, better. Motorized division. Okay, 3. Alright. This one's probably the best template to start out with. It's gonna look a little retarded, but what I'm probably gonna want is magical motorized. Breakthrough 9.6, 9.3. Okay. They'll be kind of the special forces. Right, I'm looking at 9.1 kilometer speed. Yes, that is brilliant. That is perfect. And I'm gonna need like 60 experience to get it done. Oof. Okay, well, it's going to be expensive, but such is life. Such is life, indeed. And at this rate, I might actually be able to toy with the idea of strategic bombers. The New Manhattan explosion. An explosion destroyed half of New Manhattan Harbor today. Its blast heard by ponies all the way in Sunset. The New Manhattan Police Department investigation shows that an empty freighter collided with a ship carrying munitions, which caused the latter to explode. The tragedy caused the death of 1,950 souls, with rescue operations still underway. The events in New Manhattan threw the entire country into mourning. The Harbor Master Officer has been turned into an impromptu memorial. There, ponies deliver flowers and pay their respect to the victim of this tragic accident. You know what's even more tragic is that the poor changelings are losing. That's even more tragic. All changelings, all changelings. Will you allow me to send you a little bit of stuff? Because I feel like you're losing now. I hope you'll allow me to send you a little bit of stuff, because you're not doing that great. Here. Let's send you 10% of the surplus. And that is going to be a decent amount of stuff. And I guess you can have all of these, you know, muskets. These literal muskets. You can have all of the muskets. You probably need some early trucks, maybe. Here you go. Have those. And have some civilian trains. You're going to need to ship it in parts, but come on, changelings. Try to hold on a little bit. Crown Spike, another raid, eh? You certainly do seem to like this nonsense. I should probably stop training them, because, you know, if they're all training, that's going to be... Oh, wow. I'm surprised that was a successful defense, considering they were all busy working out, but somehow the enemy was even less prepared than I was, which is good. Right, keep getting some radar. Right, I've got all the military factories I need, so I can deprioritize those a little bit. Connections to the north have been built. Excellent, excellent. Does any of this give me military experience? The Nebelwerfer, cute. Nationalized northern industry. I don't hate it. More population. I do like population increases, absolutely. Finish up the airfields. We are building airfields in the north, are we not? We are. Good. Right. Lushi offers train deal. The government of the Kingdom of Lushi offers a trade deal. They would like to buy several trains from our country to improve the life of their citizen and further modernize their own country. They are willing to pay a good price. Sure, you can have trains, why not? I see no reason to deny you trains. Trains are cute, adorable and all that. The Vermilion Realm of Kira. Right, it's probably time to start deploying some of the air power as well. The P-47 Crackbirds. Deliciously overpowered and retarded as they may be. And some of the Devastators. Right, you can get to training. Let's see. I probably do want to increase the production of Devastators. One a day? Well, one a day is not actually bad. One a day is actually relatively fair, everything considered. Keep building radar. We're going to need it. Let's keep improving our knights. Keep improving support equipment. Our knights will be hard as fucking nails, they will. With Helquin. Ah, why? An offer from Greenscliff. Grenscliff. Where the fuck is Grenscliff? I wish there was like a where is this on the map button. An envoy from the Grenflick came today. They asked us to encourage one of our rifle product companies to do business in the country. This will no doubt grant them expertise. Shall we oblige the request? Sure, why not? Wait, Hive? Hive? Grencliff. Changelings! Oh, okay. I didn't expect there to be changelings up there, but alright, sure, why not? I did not expect there to be changelings over there. I did not expect there to be changelings over there at all. That is confusing and weird to me, but I'll take it. Trenchment companies. Rusting engine. Subdetection. Streamlined fuselage. Refined engine. Mixed material construction. Production efficient again. I hardly see a problem with it. Agricultural aid. Okay. Are we ready to head north now? I feel like we're ready to head north now. Reclaim the north. Gryffonian Republic, Outland, Scandinavia, Kingdom of Whitetail. Yes. I think we're ready to head north now. I do believe we are. It would help me get some more army experience as well. 70 army experience. Is that going to be enough to get some armor battalions underway? Medium tanks. That's 35. I'd prefer to have... Well, I prefer mechanized, if I have to be entirely honest, but motorized divisions will do. Field hospital. And a logistic company. Okay. Not perfect, but that will do for an early panzer division. That's not what the button I wanted to click was at all. I do hate the idea of the medium tanks being in between all of the motorized stuff there. It just triggers my PTSD, but good enough. Logistics. Camps. Right, usual of course be a Panzer Division with a Panzer Division icon and fitting tank classes. Your armor will be 66. That'll be 70. What's the piercing of an infantry division? Not the infantry division, the Imperial Guard. 50. Okay, so... That didn't say the thing, did it? 50. Okay, 50. So that's fine. Armored, medium, medium, medium. That gives me 75, which is plenty. Do I maybe just go for this? It's a bit of a small division, Organization 54. Logistic and medical. 45. I'd like Organization 50. At least 67 armor, good enough. No, no, no. Armored Gryff. Much better. Much more Chunibu. I like it. Okay, I do already have a few. I have 3 of these. Nice. Make them all medium armor, obviously. Armored Gryff divisions. There, and I'm going to want 3 more. 3 more. Delete. 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 3 more, and I'm also going to need some motorized nonsense, but I'll worry about that later. Paul Damack, Arch, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 trailer. Ah, yes, I remember I was going to talk about that about, 20 minutes ago. Winter and cold attrition. Before I get distracted again, yes, I saw the Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance trailer. I'm kind of excited. I hope it'll be fun. I hope it'll be great. I have every hope it'll be great. I did notice that there was one mention specifically that oh, this one will be a lot more diverse than the previous one, which raises an eyebrow from me. Like, diverse, you say. When you say more diverse, what dost thou mean by this? What is the meaning of these words? I would kind of like to know, because this is a word that I am skeptical towards. This is a word that I have learned to hate, frankly. So I'm a little bit worried by the addition of it. Now, Warhorse Studios has never done anything woke as far as I'm aware, so there's no reason to go full panic-laden, screaming, clawing at the walls just yet, but it's one of those things. It's like, what did you mean by that? What did you mean by that? What was the intent of that particular word in this particular context? We'll have to wait and see. I don't think they've officially commented on it yet either, and it's entirely possible that this was a, Kotaku quote, and that Kotaku simply decided to, make the quote a bit more palatable for their own interests. That is entirely possible as well. In fact, that is what I thoroughly hope, of course. Yeah, that still put me on my thing with it. Centimetric radar. Brilliant. Keep giving me better and better radar and powered lines. Better and better gear. Piercing heart attack. Piercing. The Empire strikes back. After a series of reforms, miraculously victorious in countless rebellions, the long-suffering Gryffonian Empire has managed to reclaim the Gryffonian heartlands using the guidance of nobility. While many of the still independent Griffin kingdoms were hoping the Duchess Gabriella and their noble allies would be satisfied with the realm they've carved out for themselves, it seems this will not be the case, as today, the Duchess with her young protege, Emperor Grover VI in tow, made a speech announcing that the Griffin Empire shall now not stop till all Griffins are beneath its banner once more. That's what I like to hear. Okay. Now, there doesn't seem to be any particularly annoying alliances up there. The North must be reclaimed. I agree. Now, I think this allows me access to a further 24 Imperial Guard divisions. Yes, it does. It brings my pony power worryingly low, but I want the numbers. I want the numbers, because there's a lot of stuff to the south of me, I notice, and that will allow me to attach him to the Northern Army. The Northern Army of Reclamation. And get ready for the offensives up there, where, if the game will let me, I will first and foremost invade the Kingdom of Whitetail, as it seems like something I could probably overrun swiftly. Do they have, like... Yes, they have, like, 2 important provinces, and... that actually does appear to be it, so... No, 3. Okay, yeah. Or 4. That's a dim peak. God damn it. Oh, hello. I didn't know I had a couple of divisions already. Okay, well, I'll move you back then, and I can cancel 2 of these, I suppose. Just in case. Oh, you can't do that. You're too stupid to do that, are you? Oh, damn it. Of course you're too stupid to do that, and would be far too convenient if you weren't. Right, aircraft, are you ready? You're not. Or is this as high as I can train you? Oh, green 3 is as high as I can train you, is it? Ooh, that's nasty. Alright, well. Get yourself into a bit closer positions, anyways. Okay, so, getting veteran air crews might be more difficult than I was perhaps hoping. Okay, with all of that, I can get more Devastators. Start lining up another bunch of Devastators. Another synthetic refinery. 0. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is great news. For a while, I was sure it wasn't going to come out. Hopefully, by diverse, they mean they're adding Poles and a few Brits. That's what I'm hoping too, yes. Why am I not getting supplies down here? I suppose it's a little far away, but you do have logistic companies. Okay, well, no point in having them randomly starving down there, so let's move them up. That is what I'm hoping too. I'm hoping basically that they just, by that, mean that they're going to add in a couple more factions, basically. A bit more people vying for dominance over the area. Because that'd be fine. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You know, more mercenaries, and the mercenaries could come from far afield. You could have Turkish mercenaries, for all I care, etc. To be fair, there were no hints of any overt and obvious diversity in the trailer either. So I am hoping that any worry about diversity in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is making mountains out of molehills. That is what I'm hoping. That's what I do also more or less honestly probably believe. Because Warhorse Studios, again, have... There's never been any indication that they're going to be particularly woke. So I have a lot of hope. And I quite enjoyed the first one, and I really wanted to see a second one with improved mechanics and just more cool stuff. Okay, so that gives me war goals. Beautiful. Right. Immediately. Declare war on the Kingdom of Whitetail, and for the first time ever, the mighty Gryffonian Air Force will take part in an offensive war. They've spread themselves out neatly. Right, if they're not going to get involved, which it doesn't look like they're going to, then I will, of course, happily move over more forces from here. Ah, Kingdom Come Deliverance was a really cool game. I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do with the next one, because I admit, I never finished the first one, because it's a long game, too. Oh boy, it is a long video game. It is a very long video game. And one of the things that did annoy me was one, the insistence on the usage of the schnapps, the saving schnapps, which I wasn't an enormous fan of. I'm like, okay, you want the world to feel, you know, difficult and dangerous, and so you want to have it so that what you do has some real consequences. You can't just save the game willy-nilly, then go do a thing and have it be fine. All right, I get it, but in a game where the combat is so brutally unforgiving, it's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh. It is a bit harsh, especially also once you eventually begin to realize, and this was probably what annoyed me the most, right, that the combat isn't actually quite as skill-based as you are first led to believe. Because to begin with, the combat feels incredibly skill-based, right? Because you gotta parry in the correct direction, you gotta block and all that nonsense, and it feels like, okay, this is fine. And then you start to realize that your enemy does that thing where they catch your weapon. And at first I'm thinking, okay, I guess he got like a perfect parry or something, so fair enough, he's a better fighter than me. Okay, cool. But as you gain a lot of skill in the game, like actual in-game skill, not as in controlling skill, you begin to realize that you start catching the enemy weapon a lot more often too, until you realize, oh shit, it isn't actually necessarily a skill-based combat system, it's actually a your stats versus the enemy stats every time you attack them system. Which means that at some point, when you get enough stats, the combat system becomes somewhat trivial. And I thought that was a bit of a big undermining of the point of the game, which was lots of realistic combat, you know? So I wasn't a huge fan of that either. That annoyed me a little bit. Again, I get why, because it's obviously there to reflect the fact that Henry is getting better at fighting, and so obviously you're going to need a way to show that without just doing, like, I don't know, attack power or some other, like, gamey thing. Like, Henry now has 3,000 attack power. That would probably not necessarily be better either, so... It's one of those things where, like with the schnapps, I see what they were going for, but I'm not sure if I liked it, even if I understand the point and the intention behind it, you know? Ah, the fall of Gryffonstone, my old homeland. Send volunteers. Why would you... I'll accept, but why? Why would you, of all people, be like, hey, want some help in that war of yours? I don't think you understand how much I hate you. I think maybe you've got me mistaken with somebody else. I'm confused. The fall of Gryffonstone, the home of the Imperial dynasty and the cradle of Gryffonkind, Gryffonstone has fallen. Romarian soldiers had to fight hard to take the city, for it was built upon an ancient and sacred tree upon a mountain. This meant only winged infantry could capture it. Their support limited as the attacker did not dare to use artillery lest they damaged the holy city. The Gryffonstonian defenders were bold as they refused to let such a sacred place be taken without a fight. So the attackers paid with the blood for every house and street they took. Nevertheless, they fought on until the neglected royal palace remained, where King Guto VI had lived over 40 years ago. Instead of fortifying the palace and continuing the fight, the defenders gave up and surrendered, wishing it to be left alone. Honorable. Very honorable. Honorable Griffins. Good boy Griffins. They understand that Griffins are destined to rule this world. And thus they understand that a little bit of a gentlemanly understanding is also required. They understand that the gentleman agreement is the fundament upon which any truly successful civilization, even monarchy, should be built. Wise.
Service guaranteed.
Very wise. Wise beyond their years, in fact. I really need transport aircraft. I really, really need transport aircraft. Normally, I love building transport aircraft. Let's start building large airframes, actually. Transport plane, medium plane. So anything for heavy planes? Naval patrol, transport planes, large airframes. The Flying Carpet AG, that's a good name. Yep, Flying Carpet AG, definitely that one. Do I have transport planes already, or are they only like heavies? I have a basic transport plane. Okay, let's start building some basic transport plane, because I very clearly need to be able to airdrop resources. That is becoming frighteningly and painfully obvious as I move into these areas with dreadful infrastructure. I'm also going to need even more of these. Yes, yes indeed. I'm going to need a lot more of those. A lot more of those. And a lot more aluminium as well. Good God.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Okay, that was more than I was expecting. 18. There. And I wouldn't mind some more civilian factories either, but I'll get more soon. Wanderer237 asks, who is your artist? It's Albine Fox. You should be able to find him under that name on Twitter, Albine Fox. Can't link to it, not the proper one anyways, because it is not safe for work, and YouTube forbids the linking of any non-safe for work channels. They don't like it. They don't like that at all. The YouTube Terms of Service expressly forbids it, in fact. So I can't link you to it, but if you go to Twitter and search Albine Fox, you should be able to find him without too much difficulties. Very nice little boy, very nice artist. He's the furry person who makes furry artwork, because he's a furry. Unsurprisingly, I know, it kind of follows, doesn't it? Why do you draw furries? Well, because I like them. Fair enough. An understandable, if still somewhat deviant motivation. Why has the sound stopped? Why, well, what's the sound? Why has the music stopped? I don't actually know. I'm not actually sure why the music has stopped. Maybe the game just needs me to hit it. Alright, that's Silkhorn being occupied, but I also need Dim Peak all the way over there. Okay. Oh. Destroy the remnants that are still resisting in the south. Deep pit mining operations. Really need more resources.
Citizenship.
Really, unironically, need more resources. Now, a maintenance department would not be a bad idea. And it's time to get moving on the next rank of weaponry as well. Zero, Mountain Blade has a nice mix of skills and stats. It does. I do quite like it. I really enjoy Mountain Blade Warband. I really do. It is a game that I can still sink a tremendous number of hours into. It manages to somehow never get boring, Mountain Blade. And I don't know how it does it. I have no idea, but Mountain Blade, I can just kind of play it forever. It's a great little game. So to Firewater, if the Sisters of Silence didn't have the top notch, they'd be hotter. But do you have a story you can recommend with them? I missed it the first time. I don't, sadly. The Sisters of Silence were introduced fairly recently-esque, and honestly, during the Horus Heresy, where they just kind of kept going on and on for a very long period of time, I kind of just checked out of modern-day lore, I'll admit. Ever since the Gathering Storm, with the exception of the Horus Heresy, which I did quite enjoy. But the Gathering Storm, man, I hated the Lord in the Gathering Storm. I despise the Lord in the Gathering Storm. I see, the Gathering Storm was not an instance of GW storytelling being woke or anything like that. It was simply just bad storytelling. That was what it was. It was bad storytelling, where they took something as important as Acadia and they just blew it up off screen and then shrugged at you as if they're like, okay, yeah, we just did that. Yeah, I noticed. Why did you do that? You wanted to sell Space Marines again. They're really popular. Really? Was that it? Yeah, Primaris. Look at them, like they're big and shiny and shit. I hated that. I hated that a lot. I hated that a tremendous amount. And ever since the Gathering Storm, I've kind of looked at modern lore with at best a little bit of distaste, and at worst a little bit of complete and utter apathy and hatred. It's like, why did you do that, GW? Why did you do that? It's like, just because you want to sell Space Marines again? And yes, that is the reason. Just because they wanted to sell Space Marines again. Hated that. Hated that. Hated that quite a bit. Surprise, surprise, there is absolutely no, agriculture or infrastructure whatsoever up here, which is terrible. My poor men. They are hungry yet again. They're always so hungry, the poor Griffins. They just never get to eat anything, ever. Alright, begin the final advance towards Grim Peak. Imperial Order of Knights. Good boys, good boys. Evon, the Reddit argument for female custodies is not what gives me pleasure. It is reading the ill-informed explanation what an Adeptus Custodies even is. I bet they can't even get that right. It would not surprise me in the slightest. Although I am impressed by the fact, I'm impressed by the sheer number of people who apparently didn't know that this had already been settled. Like, because you'd think that the excuse which they presented was, this is a piece of law that hasn't really been defined yet. So you can kind of just do whatever you want, because nobody knows if there are female custodies. That was the line put forward almost immediately on Twitter, I saw, mostly by the wokist. I was like, hold on, that's not true. It's like, there have never been female custodies. That fact alone implies very heavily that there aren't any female custodies, because if there were female custodies, we'd probably have seen one of the female custodies by now. But that thing just slides right off their smooth little brains. Like, it doesn't even register at all. They just put forward, either that, or, as I keep saying, which I should take my own advice on this, or just simply assume malice, and that they're just actually lying to you. It's like, oh, this is totally ill-defined, and nobody really knows. Like, no. That's what we call not true. So, why are you saying it? What kind of agenda could you potentially possibly be pushing with this? Who knows? It truly is what we call a complete and utter mystery, I'm sure. Hello there, Stalingrad. I am still deeply confused as to why Stalingrad is sending soldiers to aid me, but I suppose I shouldn't look a gift pony in the mouth, so there you go. Alright, where did I put... there they are, yes. Okay, make sure that these are Imperial Guard, of course. Then we can fill that into the same army and begin training with them. Oh, not all of you. One of you leave behind. It's a shitty walk up to Dim Peak. Just like the name suggests, it's not a place one would normally go to vacation. But in order to make sure that the kingdom of Whitetail has finally been fully subjugated, it will unfortunately be necessary to ritualistically humiliate them by seizing their capital, which in turn necessitates aforementioned long and annoying walk up into the mountains of this hellscape. Diversify at one free speech forces branch specialism. Domestic film industry, Game Boy Westport, rated propaganda. Diversify elite forces. Current war simply aren't enough to combat the young so we must innovate. Add one free speech special forces branch specialization. It costs 50 to take that. What does that mean? What does that mean? Free special forces specialization. Is that a thing? Helmite Canona, that's the guns. What does that mean? I don't know. Adler, air attack, ground attack, max speed and agility. My bombers. Ground attack plus 10. I'll take max speed first, thank you. Pains reserve, available war goals, doctrines? Ooze. Oh, okay. I didn't even see that. Nice. Racial special forces. Okay, but before that, I need to customize my army a little bit more because, you know, I still have some templates I really kind of need. Right, you guys turn back down.
Citizenship.
And you guys fortify that border. Right, do I need... Yes, I do need to fix the infrastructure there. Let's make
guarantees citizenship.
That a priority, shall we? That infrastructure is absolutely god-awful. James Kuhn. Hello, Arch. Enjoy your latest video. Hope your day is going well. I was wondering if you play Hotfire and Fallout and heard of YouTuber named Sodas. He does animations, videos on Halo 2 Fallout. I think I've heard the name, but that's about it. But yes, I think I've heard the name. I think. Caveat. But yes, I think I've heard it, but that's also all I have. Arch watches very little YouTube. very, very little YouTube. Right, let's keep deploying aircraft. More of my P-47 crackbirds. How's the Chrysalis doing? Oh, damn. Yep, they're not winning this, I'm afraid. Tragic though it may be. Bug Horse is best horse, but Bug Horse being best horse is not going to save Bug Horse from the bullshit that is Equestria. Unfortunate. Right. Whitetail, secret police, of course. Everything else has been fully integrated now brilliantly. What has happened to the music? Music. Audio. Mozak. Mozak? Mozak. There you go. Very oriental. Disturbingly oriental, almost. Right, I need motorized units. Next. Oh, I managed... I forgot to duplicate it, didn't I? Yes. Yes, I did. Darnation. Well, that's going to make that a lot more expensive. But yes, that is basically the division I'm looking for. Shall we duplicate it first this time then? Before I do something retarded. Motorized Griffins. There will be a motorized division, unsurprisingly. And here we are simply going to go for some 1 magical, the rest regular motorized, artillery and anti-tank. Ah, yes, of course. For a moment there I was looking at like, hold on, that looks awfully slow for a motorized division. Yes, that's because it's actually not fully motorized. 100 points, huh?
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Okay. A little bit of training going, and we should be able to get 100 army experience up in no time to pay for that motorized unit squad. And boom. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to need a load of that. Probably 12 of them. That will be the spear shaft for the armored division spearhead. Pony power, exhausted. I am playing a dangerous game in relations to my pony power. A dangerous game indeed. But I'll have more population gained there and more population cap to grow in the future, so... I'm going to build the army I want and worry about staffing it with griffins after the fact. Yes, that sounds like it makes sense. I don't know if it does. In fact, I'm almost sure it doesn't, but good enough. We can stop trading for a little bit. There. We'll just have to extend conscription again. Don't worry about it. I've extended conscription before, and by God, I will extend conscription again. Roman Heinrich, boss of Warhorse Daniel Vavra, is based. He fought for freedom of speech and weapon rights in Chechnya. Good. And yeah, no, I know he is, which is why I'm hoping and more or less expecting that we don't have anything to worry about when it comes to for some reason my brain desperately wants to say Knights of an Old Republic. There we go, that's last. Bears switch side. Beorlings, the de facto dictator of the Northern Protectorate and widely regarded as a mere puppet of Christus, has now shocked the world with his abrupt betrayal of his former master. He has declared the dissolution of the Northern Protectorate and the creation of Hyperborea, as well as a state of war between the changelings and his new nation. Beorlings have claimed to a deeper cover agent in service of harmony, sabotaging the changeling war machine from the inside. What the truth is, no one can say for sure, but the fact the changeling queendom is looking bleaker by the day. Yes, there's really no way for me to save the changeling queendom, I don't think. There really isn't. I can't even ask for military access. Would they accept volunteers? I mean, even if they did, I ain't stopping this. I ain't stopping this, I'm afraid. Ah, poor Chrysalis. I feel for you. And I will carry out revenge for you, I swear. I swear I will revenge you at some point. But first I must reunite my own continent. Then I can worry about putting the filthy, dirty ponies in their place beneath the griffin talons. Unfortunate. Let's continue building some infrastructure in the south, because I am going to need it. And, you know what? I am going to need dockyards eventually as well. If I'm preparing for a war with Equestria, I am definitely going to need dockyards. How's my production of military equipment? Good. Good enough. No immediately disastrous shortfallings. Okay, prepare more military factories for the eventual production of heavy bombers. And the Imperial Order of Knights is ready to begin the invasion now of the much larger Gryffonian Republic. We're going to have to strengthen the Northern Army. Let's see, who will it be? You're obviously the Panzer Army leader. And you will be my boss man of panzers, and you can begin training the new armor as well. Lovely. Right. Let's have you rejoin the Northern Front. Unpaint that, please. What? No. You don't need that. That's fine. Oh. Are you being gay with me? There we go. Much better. Right. That'll be more than enough divisions facing off against them, I'm certain. And the Imperial Knights. Let's see. A nice sweep south. Trying to end the war quickly, mayhaps? Or perhaps it is time for a little bit of a creation of a pocket. Yes, I think so. Right, how's my Air Force looking? Move you over there. Move you over here. You are done training? You are. Lovely. Ah, the River Federation. See, that's the big boy. Look at that. Oh, yeah. The River Federation indeed. River Republic forms the River Federation. Today, in the center of Rekograd, the heart of the Riverlands, a momentous event took place. For once, every single representative was present at the Sabor as the vote to form the River Federation took place and passed successfully. River Swirl held an emotional speech afterward, smiling wide and her eyes filled with tears, saying that they have achieved what Equestria had, but without the help of godlike alicorns. United all kinds of different nations and races under one banner without resorting to conquest or oppression. They had all thrown their prejudices aside and worked together to create a society of harmony, democracy, and friendship. She thanked all the representatives and said without them, this miraculous feat would not have been possible, then burst into tears of joy and went down from the podium to embrace the jubilant representatives. Yeah, the River Federation gets very chonky very quickly. Speaking of, I don't have any. I still can't promote you, can I? Jesus. What about you? Anything? No, you still haven't earned enough experience. Right, but surely you have earned some medals at least. Yes, you've earned plenty of medals. Supply consumption, I guess? Division organization. Yet more supply consumption. Oh, armor. Nice. Actually, I should have picked that one then. But supply consumption is always good. Always. Right. Fuel capacity and armor. I don't know how I was supposed to guess that, armor and fuel capacity was somehow the same thing, but here we are. Casualties taken 7,000 over the course. Ooh. You can tell that the knightly orders have been at the forefront of every conquest, can't you? They kind of beaten up a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, Griffin Republic. You're next on the chopping block. Declare war. Let's see if they have any air power to speak of. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if I began to you know, run into some actual aerial resistance in the not-too-distant future. Should maybe have waited a pinch longer before doing that, due to, you know, being able to get all of my knights together, but oh, well. Right, you will attempt to do that, whilst the armor continues their training. Oh boy, that's a fortified little border you have there, darling. Let's see. I'm thinking there are probably other places I can bust over first then. Okay, like, don't attack there. That would be silly. That would be kind of warning them of what I'm intending to do, which would be stupid. Let's not. But I will be more than happy to advancing across your unguarded frontier, of course. I see no particular problem with that. Ah, you... Oh, I thought it... annoying, but that's not actually a problem. If they want to move all the way up in the far north, that is actually quite fine by me, as they're not going to be able to actually capture anything of any value up there. Meanwhile, I, of course, will be able to capture everything of value down here, which is far more useful. Right, do not do your dumb thing. Do not. I forgot to turn off the AI. I hate the AI. I loathe it. I never use it, except to do things like basically rapidly relocating stuff. It's great for being like, hey, go over to this border, but you should never trust the AI. You should never trust the AI. The AI is dreadful. AI is horrible. Unless you needed to do something very unspecific, like just like a massive general advance or something, the AI should be ignored and punished whenever you have the opportunity to do so. Mistreated outright. Viewed as a danger and a threat to monarchy. Hello there. This, what do I spy with my little eye? An opportunity to catch yet more stuff in my snare. Consider me tremendously intrigued. Right, good. They spread their forces out to try and guard their entire frontier, and that, unsurprisingly, turned out to be a mistake. He who defends everything defends nothing, as we all know. Your capital already so exposed. How could this be? So early on in the conflict. So early on in the war. Ah, Olestia's free, I see. Yes, yes. Tragic. It is horrifying. It is horrific, but my fellow beloved monarch, Queen Chrysalis, is not going to be able to stand up to the forces of perfidious harmony and democracy led by the evil Queen Celestia for much longer. Sadly, it was always largely a foregone conclusion. The forces of righteousness are almost always defeated by the forces of inequity and evil. As seen by the steady rise of the plague of democracy across the earth, as more and more nations fall to its terrifying sway. Only in the Middle East, in our own world, does the torch of, theocracy and monarchy still glow strong. Opinions espoused in a My Little Pony stream is not to be taken for Arch's actual political position. Incidentally, in case anybody was wondering. Go on, little griffins. Go on. Field hospitals. I do need those. Casualties do kind of continue mounting at a frightening rate. You know, right now, I do actually have the temptation to just allow the AI its reins, because I think it would probably just roll forward, and I think maybe perhaps simply just rolling forward is exactly what I need right now. You know what? Yes. Rolling forward is exactly. Oh, I see the other northerners also decided to get in on the action there, huh? The other northern nations declared war on the Republic. Good. Good. Some of them have understood. Some of them have seen the light of monarchism. Ah, thank God. For so long I've feared that I've been the only one who's understood that monarchy is the future, the light, and the guiding beacon of all civilization. But no, there are others. There are others who understand. There are those who get it. Few and far between though they may potentially be, there are those who still get it. The fall of Cloudberry, the bastion of the Gryffonian republicanism and the former capital of the duchy named after it. Cloudberry has fallen to Gryffonian attackers. The city had been fortified for decades by President Marshal Kemersky and his allies.
Heresy's the question.
Not only
Fire
to
is
defend
the
it from
answer.
counter-revolutionary aggression, always the real danger with a revolution, but also from the warlords ruling the countryside. The Siege of Rax! Ha ha! The countryside. As such, the Republican garrison had an easy time repelling invaders at first, forcing their enemy to use more unorthodox tactics to seize the city. Nighttime raids across the river, airborne flanking maneuvers by winged infantry, and various infiltration attempts were all utilized in tandem. Yet, in the end, the Gryffonian Empire had to rely on overwhelming numbers and firepower to gain a bittersweet victory. Hey, victory is victory, okay? Infantry expert, of course. The Siege of Rax. This day marks the end of the Siege of Rax. After the surrounding area had been captured, the massive hive city was put under siege. Queen Chrysalis resolved to not pull out of the city's many civilians in an effort to spur the changeling army to fight harder against the enemy. This had only made the battle more costly, as the changelings resorted to using gas attacks at close range to give any advantage they could muster. In the close-quarters urban combat, with Hyperborean forces clad in gas masks and armoured with batons and shotguns, they moved through the barricades and bunkers until the last pocket of changeling resistance was crushed, and the massive hive, once buzzing with life, lay as silent as the frozen fields of the north. A sad day. A sad day. The new IBK 4472. Question, are the woke really human? No, they're severely brain damaged. And whether or not that makes them human or not, well, depends. Does anything with sub 90 IQ count as humans? I doubt this. I question this. I am not sure about that at all. Motorized rocket artillery. Mechanized trucks. Breakthrough. I like breakthrough. Give me that. Jonathan Smith. GW ironically proving the perverse lord of change wins, changing everything that was to something that isn't, both in that universe and in life. Oh yeah. Again, the argument that wokeism is chaos goes from strength to strength and nothing besides. It goes from victory to victory. It seems just absolutely guaranteeably sure now that, yeah, wokeism is chaos. I mean, arguing against it seems at this point to be mildly idiotic, honestly. It really does. Speaking of mildly idiotic, am I oppressing the people here? I am not. Secret police force, thank you very much. And Barony of Angriver can probably go to civilian oversight, as we're just a few more percentage away from beginning to integrate them. And there's the Gryffonian Republic. Firmly under boot. Good. Give. Demand. You will not have anything. Demand. 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 This new peace system is very retarded, and I don't like it very much. It kind of just comes down to clicking buttons, almost. It really kind of does, and eventually the AI just kind of gives up and goes like, okay then, I guess you can have it all. I suppose if you're in a situation where the enemy has, like, the other parties have just done a lot more than you, that it would be more difficult. But by and large, yeah, kind of just like demand, demand, demand seems to be the key tenets of it all. Alright. The first army will remain in the north, whereas the third Imperial army will head down south. And to reinforce Southern Command. There, make sure the borders are fully occupied in case of any nonsense. Kingdom of Verdina, let me guess. Really? I don't have a war justification on you, do I? But I do on the Kingdom of Skynavia. Oh, the Free Northern Commune? I don't, really? What about these people? Can I invade those? Oh, that's Skynavia too, okay. What about Elflake? Socialist Republic of Skynavia. Yes. Yes. I think you and I shall be enemies forever. Forever, I say. Six division... 9 divisions, let's make sure of it, shall we? Nine divisions should be overwhelming force in that area, and the rest of you will simply provide realigned support and security services for the Imperial Knights, who will conquer the Skynavians and their disgusting, vile republicanist ways. Any airfields up there? No, not a one. Oh, okay. Not a one, eh? Okay, well, we're gonna have to build some airfields then. That's gonna be necessary. Let me guess, not a whole lot of railway connections either? No, not at all. In fact, basically none. Okay. Well, I hope it'll be a quick war then, otherwise there's gonna be some hungry lads up there. I do have 200 transport planes
guarantees citizenship.
Ready for service. Which might be a good deal to deploy now. Okay, U-200 will provide what support you can. John Smith. Oh, and both this and the 5 to Kenshi. Of course, sir. I shall add it. There we go. James Kuhn. Hey Arch, have you played Wasteland series? If not, I would recommend. I have played it. I really like the first one, or the first one, the new first one, the remake one of the first one, the spiritual successor. Theoretically, technically, I do suppose. Really enjoyed it. Never finished it because again, oh boy, it's a long video game. It's a very, 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 very long video game. Wait, are you allied, perchance? Puppet of the social... Oh, I see. I see. Well, that does complicate affairs. We're gonna have to spread ourselves out a little bit more defensively, then. Oh, God. is, how are they doing down here? The Kingdom of Wingbardi, I think, was just defeated. Ah, poor Mussolini. I think Mussolini has been defeated. God, why? How could such a thing happen to Mussolini? Or Biccolini, as he is called. He was just trying his best. He was just trying his hardest. Biccolini did not deserve such an ignoble fate. Alright, let's get some air supplies going up there. And we'll await the at least the first airfield to be finished. Right. That should help the supply situation somewhat. Not enough. 33%. Well, it's something. It is a thing. Can I make bigger and better transport aircraft, by the way? Large Bombay. No, I don't think so. Okay, in which case we shall simply just continue to produce as many transport aircraft as we can then to alleviate the no doubt unfathomably shitty supply situation in these places. See Southern Industry. Yep, continue on with that. And let's get this war going before the supplies grow thinner still. Oh boy. A nice, wide front war in an area with basically no supplies. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Aclonian Republic is starting to get a little bit pissy with me in my rear. I don't love that. That is dangerous. Minus 56? Okay, yep, no. A Commonwealth of New Maryland will pick up the slack, I'm sure. Equestria. That should help my production. Right, New Scandinavia is all the way over there. I'm wondering if I shouldn't maybe just try to rush them down. And don't forget to invest in your doctrines. That is a good idea, yes. And if anything, I should be investing in oh god, how did I get to that button? There again. Yes. What's that? 75? That's expensive. Special Forces Doctrine. Yeah, let me get that, actually. Mountaineers. Because this is going to be some pretty shitty mountainous terrain, I imagine. Yes, I think we're going to try to rush them down.
The question. Fire is the answer.
I would love it if the Great Northern War was as quick a war as humanly possible, or ponily or griffinly possible in this case. The fall of Vessopolis. The tragic end of our beloved changeling friends. Oh, well, you know, old friends. They don't like us as much anymore. But once, Griffin and Changeling were fast and firm comrades in arms against the oppressive forces of ever pernicious and carnivorous harmony. It is a tragic thing to see that our friends have fallen, but it was inevitable. The tall spires of Changeling capital are aflame as Hyperborean forces secure the control of the Hive City. Queen Chrysalis reportedly fled as the enemy approached and ordered the local garrison to fight to the death. Civilians were forbidden from leaving the city and would be accused of high treason if they did. This means that despite the best efforts of Hyperborean civilian casualties could not be avoided, especially after the defenders used civilians as shield and forced them to fight. After brief but fierce urban combat, the garrison surrendered and the Hyperborean flag was raised atop the badly damaged and burning Great Queen's Tower. A sad day. Actually, if you can wait there a second. Maybe we can destroy some divisions there. That would be nice. Some of you hold that. Really now? Okay. Fine, in which case I think I'll just move around you. As every division I can capture here is quite potentially valuable. Three units of armor from Staliongrad. Ah, now the Staliongrads are coming to the help of those who actually agree with them, huh? That's significantly smarter of them. Oh boy, see, that's a problem, because I don't have the supply. I need to get the hell out of there. Oh boy, that is a very large problem. Ah, shit. And I'm going to lose all of that. Well, that is fucking infuriating. I did not expect 3 armored division to pop out directly to my front. Weirdly enough. That was not what I had expected. And it is what happened. Goddammit. Well, any hope of rushing them is definitely lost. Damn bastards. I'm probably just gonna have to build up the supply lines, aren't I? Oh, that was annoying. That was tremendously annoying. And the worst part, they might actually be able to get through here as well, although I will get at least 1 division there. That was a very nasty move, and I hate it a lot. Alright, supplies will be necessary. Right, and we will need supply hubs, which are going to be very, 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 very expensive. But the Northern War is going to be impossible to continue without them. At least most of my supply lines are fairly stable. But we are probably going to have to do this the long and the hard way. Oh. The Great War is over. Today, after many years of desperate fighting, the conflict between Equestria and the changelings has come to an end. Queen Chrysalis has reportedly been sacked by a resistance movement who formed a temporary government, which immediately sought peace with the Equestrians, resulting in their unconditional surrender. Ponies old and young alike cheered at hearing the news, and Princess Celestia has already decided to make the day of their victory a national holiday. The future of the changeling will henceforth be decided by a friendly, reformed changeling Thorax. The war is over, and the fighting has stopped. Peace has returned to the land of Equestria once more, but will it be a lasting peace? Poor, poor, poor changelings. Their lives will now be dictated to them by ponies. Disgusting. Awful. Terrible. They've got some very hard times ahead of them. And much sadness will be heaped upon the poor ponies. Tremendous, tremendous sadness. Speaking of tremendous sadness, I do need those knights back. Knights. Oh, I can make... Okay, hold on. In that case, let's make them triple knights with an anti-tank attachment and field hospital, definitely. Right, let's upgrade them. And we will produce 8 more division of knights. And 1 replacement Imperial Guard division. A cause for celebration. Now, actually, before you celebrate, let me see. Is there any supply caches I could capture? No. Are there? 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. No. Oh god, there's like no supply caches up here either. Oh no, there's one there, but I can't get to it. Okay. Yep, no, we're gonna have to do the long way, I'm afraid. The brutal way. And I'm going to need a supply depot there as well. Right, upgrade the railways to level 2, at least. So I can put through enough stuff. And if we're waiting for that, we might as well also build the necessary airfields. Like, where are the... There they are. Okay, so where are my supply problems? There's the supply problems. Right. Good. And we can have 600 aircraft there, so bring in the bombers as well, of course. Do they have any aircraft? They do! They have 100 fighters. Nasty little bastards. Okay. Bring in more bombers, of course. And bring in T-200 P-47 crackbirds. Uh, 9.2 more supply in the strategic region. Okay, let's also do the more ground control crews. Right, that'll help. The new IKB 4472 set occupation laws to integration to make it faster. I think I need 40% for that, I think. Do I? Oh, no, I can do integration regardless. Oh, no, I need... No, how's that? Swiss target mystery, what form must be true, isn't it just found? Demonstration requires person, 6%. One of the following must be true. What? I don't know what that means. But yes, you can set it, but I thought I needed 40%. Apparently I do not. Okay, but I still do need quite a lot up here, so... Right, Skyfall Republic, local police force. I'll give you civilian oversight. Grover has a keen feeling something was amiss today. There was no Gryff to greet him after he exited his chamber, and the guards were missing. As well, he checked the neighbouring rooms for any occupants, to no avail. For a moment, he thought that when he wished for every Gryff to disappear, it came true, but ultimately dismissed it as ridiculous. Passing next to the deserted Imperial throne, Grover went for the banquet hall. Surely there would be at least something to eat if no Gryff was around. Pushing the wide double doors outward, he did not expect what happened afterwards. Happy birthday, Grover! The young Gryff Emperor went slack-jawed at the spectacle. There was Auntie Gabriella, many of his teachers, and even the palace servants. Many of them held wrapped presents in their claws. With smiles on their faces, he couldn't remember the last time he received so many congratulations. Rushing to hug his aunt, he beamed at her. "Aunt Gabby, what is this all about?" he asked in astonishment. "It is your 10th birthday, my dear nephew," she retorted, stepping aside to show a mouth-watering chocolate cake with many strawberries from the Strawberry Duchy. And 10 candles waiting to be extinguished. We all gathered here to wish you the very best and celebrate in style this momentous occasion. Now, go ahead and make a wish," nudging him towards the table. Of course, how could Grover forget about his birthday? Thus he went forward and blew the candles out. His wish would have to wait for a more opportune time. Afterward, he spent many hours mingling with other Griffins who waited in line just to give the Emperor a token gift and best wishes. The grove of Griffins seemingly never ended, as more and more arrived with each hour, important figures in the Empire as well as his friends. Finally, once every Gryff had left the banquet hall, Grover could have a seat and enjoy a slice of the exquisite cake with his only close family member. "I didn't think there would be so many guests, Auntie. Am I really that important?" "Of course you are, my child. As the future emperor of us all, many will seek to court your favor. It is up to you to determine whose pledges are genuine and whom are merely plotting to use you for their aims. You'll learn in time, however." Grover knew that being an emperor wouldn't be simple, but there was still so much to master. Still, he felt confident that he could make it. He was given everything he needed, and his auntie made sure no Gryff could harm him. "I will be the best emperor there was, Auntie. I won't let you down." Aww. Well, isn't that just absolutely touching and everything? I think so. Deeply touching, deeply moving, and all of those things. Well, Grover, I'm also happy to inform you that the Northern War is going to continue for an extended period of time, and that thousands of Griffins will die in your name. Happy birthday. Hey, who knows? He might like it. He might actually be into that shit. It's entirely possible. In fact, I might even say that it's quite likely that he's into that stuff, because he did like the tales of the Griffins of old, after all. He probably finds it quite intriguing, I think. Infantry equipment, magic infantry equipment. Production costs 5%. Who cares? My industry is so enormously, grossly massive at this point that that should not be a serious drain on my coffers, I'm sure. Although, judging by this, I do need to readjust my priorities just a little bit here and there. I do need a greater production, yes. Okay, well, you can never have too many military factories, so begin queuing up another wave to be completed once the infrastructure work has been finished. Ah, my opponents are going on the offensive. How very brave and how very foolish of them. Trust me, lads. If I think that forward momentum is not worth the risk... Oh, okay, fair enough. That single province is surrounded by like 15 other ones. Right, we shall abandon that one. It seems not worth holding. Our average air defense is lower than their air attack. Really? I am shocked and surprised at that, if I'm to be entirely honest with you. Our fighters level 5, enemy level 1. Really? I am genuinely amazed by the fact that those fighters are being outfought 5-1. I am very shocked and surprised at that. How on God's good earth that is happening. Alright. Maybe some radar. Yes. Let's try some radar. Really? Am I falling behind technologically, perhaps? Because that's... No, I'm 1.1 years ahead. Well, that's downright confusing. Maybe the dedicated aircraft cannons would be a better choice. Is there any aircraft stuff I'm missing? Well, yes, these. No, aircraft, airbase defense, capital ship armor, screen defense, all airplanes, air defense. Okay, well, that does air support mission everything. Yeah, that's probably it. Yep, that's probably something to do with it. And I should also, obviously, actually do some of this. Yes, dive bombing, ground support, ace generation chance, or air superiority mission efficiency. I do like aces. I like aces. I don't know if aces are useful in this mod, but I like the idea of aces, so let's go with that. 9-1. 10 to... How on God's good earth? That is mildly absurd. That is mildly absurd. I'm not shooting down any of them. Good God. Okay, maybe it's range. Chat suggests it's range. It might be range. That range is like the only important stat. Could be. Could be. Let's also get some bombers in there. Because that is absurdly bad. I mean, that is unfathomably bad. That is genuinely amazingly bad. That is absolutely, absurdly terrible. But I told you to... Oh my God, I told you to move out of there, I'm pretty sure. And yet apparently you elected not to. Yes, I know I ordered you to retreat backwards. And apparently you decided that that was not an order worth receiving. I say, interesting. Benjin V, the 5th unifies Hindia. Last step truly brings shattered Hindian subcontinent into the future. We're taken as Benjin 5th Kudlint. I don't have time to read that because shit is happening. Alright, do try to break in there if at all possible. Yes, the complete lack of supplies is not doing well. Really? You're pushing in there into mountainous terrain with armor successfully. I'm kind of shocked. Because I'm not being able to pierce your armor. Really? Truly? Okay. Launch a little bit of a spoiling attack. We're clearly going to need more dudes in the northern regions, if that is the case. Which we can, of course, get. Right, how about you actually retreat this time, as ordered to? I suspect this is kind of going to be a situation where I'm just going to have to fall back for a while until they run out of their supplies, and then I just need to rebuild all of the supplies. Seriously, though, this is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. Oh, clearly I should have had the extended drop tanks made for my aircraft. As I was not aware it was that big of a deal, but very clearly it is. Jesus Christ. I figured the war in the north would be tough, but I did not expect to be trading my very good and very expensive aircraft 13-1 for it. That was definitely not expected. Right, Whitetail Mountain also needs some bombers, and I believe I have plenty of bombers to spare. Right, let's make sure that all of the areas are properly supported, if nothing else. Right, what if I just try to pump up the bonus then? 300 aircraft. Surely 300 aircraft and some air superiority should be a pretty massive advantage over a mere 100, you'd think. 3-1. Alright, you're falling back. I clearly need more armor piercing as well. That's something I'm clearly lacking. Alright, let's get to getting some armor piercing going. It'll be done in 10 days. Johnson Smith, start calling Woker's disciples, referring to Gramsci and Zinch. There's a sort of a poetic justice to us, plus they are cultists. Bring on the Kenshi. Thank you very much. Purple Plague Unleashed. Helkwell is notorious for its rabid hatred of ponies, but most assumed they would be content after deporting them from their lands. This half-truth was quickly proven deeply wrong. Across the Riverlands in eastern Gryffonia, ponies were falling ill to the previous extinct disease known as the Purple Plague. At first it was believed to be an isolated outbreak. Were it not for the Helkwell recently proclaiming that they had brought doom upon the ponies, this vicious virus spread at an alarming rate with staggering death toll. Thus far caused entirely by Helkwell, inflicting healthy ponies and sending them back to their homes. Oh boy. A little bit of full-on biological warfare, eh? That's quite the spicy hobby you're having there. The Rave opponents have put aside the differences as united as one to cast down the vile regime. Unfortunately, even if they are successful, nothing will bring back the thousands of dead. Well, yeah, sure, but, you know, revenge is always sweet in its own way, is it not? God damn, the Northern War is turning into a bit of a hellish situation. As all of my supplies are gone. Okay, you are going to have to fall back yet further, I'm afraid. Until the railways can finally be constructed. At least you're not getting across the river and the mountains. That's a bit much for the armor. I'm tempted to bring my tanks up here now, actually, seeing how well their tanks are performing in mountainous terrain. I imagine mine wouldn't do too bad either. But let's not further complicate our supply situation, eh? That seems silly. Ah. That's literally what I'm building the... Okay, yes. That's fine. As long as I can hold on to it, that's okay. Right. Self-discarding Sabot. That's some pretty advanced stuff right there. Build it now. And continue with the air defense. Right. Did that other thing finish building? Yes, it did. Now it's just getting the railway level up there. And the supply situation will be much improved. Oh no, they did get across the river and the mountain somehow. Jesus Christ. Right, well at least I'm dealing with their armor now. That's nice. Okay, don't let them do that. That would be just silly. Good, good. Mountains are holding out fairly well. Send up more bombers. 13-2. No, even 3-1. My fighters are getting absolutely butcher-fucked. Somehow. Right, well, I'm clearly going to need a fighter with way more range focus to deal with that. Maybe large aircraft cannons as well. Very, very clearly. Okay, black gold. I'll probably remake it to just have essentially nothing but range. We'll get some support there, try to drive those out. Jesus, I am doing a lot of aerial damage to them. Let's get back into Dim Peak. I'd rather not abandon it, as it is at the end of the railway, and is thus very valuable to me. Hold on to that spot. Do not lose that spot. That is where all of the supplies are eventually going to be flowing into, so I'd rather keep it. Do we increase production? So that's the submachine guns. Let's boost those. And we also have better magical rifles. Right. I've got all of the improved anti-tank guns I need, more or less. That shouldn't be a big problem. But I am being out-armored. Oh, God. Do not lose that province. Do not lose that province. Do not lose that province. Thank you very much. It's kind of important. As the AI is doing quite fine on its supply. Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit of a case of the AI doesn't really play with supplies on, which is going to make this a little hard, but the moment my own railway lines are up and operational, it'll be a lot less problematic. And the bombers are dealing quite well with the enemy tanks. It will simply be a matter of attacking and counter-attacking, and you're sitting on my goddamn railway lines now, aren't you, you little bastards? You are. See, that's a problem. Oh, God. I really... Oh, no. I might have to give up the northern part entirely. Oh, God, that is going to be annoying. Ah. Oh, that is going to be annoying. But I might have to, because I can't get supplies up there, because I can't get supplies up there now, and if I can't get supplies up there now, I will never get supplies up there, because they're sitting on the railway line. Oh, God damn it. Well, that is unfathomably annoying, but yes, I severely underestimated how many tank divisions they could create, and I severely underestimated, or overestimated, my aircraft. Christ. Not being able to win air superiority from a third of their number is definitely a lot worse than I was expecting. Alright, well, if that's how it's got to be, that's just how it's got to be. I would like to keep Dim Peak. I don't want to send my tanks up there, because I know my tanks are not going to have as good supply as their tanks are. I'll just have to stiffen it up with a few extra divisions from the south. Actually, hold on. Oh, God, well... Oh, fucking no wonder then. For some reason, I thought to myself that this game surely doesn't have motorization of supply tech. Because, you know, that's ponies. Surely it's just like pony power or something now. No, it does have that. Oh my God. I hadn't even thought about that. Yep, no, of course, motorize everything. Motorize all of it, because I think I'm sitting on a lot of trucks. Yes. Yes, I still... Well, I need a little bit more trucks, but... Yes, I've got lots of trucks. Right. Well, this will be a long and slow reorganization, but that will wait until next time, I think, because I've been playing for about 4 hours, and now I'm getting hungry. So I will leave you all there. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for your incredibly generous donations today as well. And I will see you all again tomorrow with the ArchCast. Until then, have a good day.